like. You had enough?
Okay. It's a whole fucking thing. have a lot of fun with these games. Alright. Definitely gonna have to be these guys first, so. Riss, you fucking champion, dude. Poor choices, friend. Poor choices. Stop talking so that I can fight people. I lose nearly right away. Yep. Damn. Okay. You fucking champion. Oh, you champion, dude. lucky as it gets. That's adorable. Yo,
You good?
yo, what's good?
Yeah, you good, bro?
Yeah, why?
Because when you said yo, you sounded sad as fuck. Like somebody stole your lollipop or something. I don't know.
Nope. Just straight chilling. Star Citizen's been bugging out for me today. Every time I log in, I don't have a head, and I don't have a hood. Which are both very big problems. Those are both important things to have, heads and hoods. So,
Okay. Wanna do a little bit of CS or something else?
at the moment, I am playing fucking Fire Emblem, actually. And
That
then
was
I'm
Fire
trying-
Emblem.
That's the old GameCube.
Oh,
It used to be a GBA game, and then it was a GameCube game, and then it was a DS game, and a Wii game. It's a Nintendo game. That's what it is. But, it's a strategy shit. I got it up on my stream at the moment. But, I'm just chilling playing this for a little bit. And then, once I go into and get fucking Star Citizen working again, I'm definitely gonna try to do that. I finally got out of jail, so.
you want me to check out Star Citizen? Because it probably would be bugging out for me too.
Well, I mean, it's always kind of buggy. It's just a question of what bugs you get and how much of a pain in the ass they are. It's like there's some bugs that are not even an issue, they're easy workarounds. Other bugs that are like serious problem. And I fully restarted my game earlier, so I'm kind of just like letting it chill.
Mm.
Ooh, that hurt. That hurt. Oh, hell yes, we're good.
Earthquake cell. Let's see.
Shit. Bro, this game is permadeath for the characters, and I have two characters that both escaped death by dodging attacks. No, and it's kind of
Oh,
terrifying.
Dude, they got Doom 64 for $1.24.
Bro, you can get Doom 64 for free on emulator. You can map what you fucking want to use as controller. I got no. That's what I'm doing on this right now. I'm using Dolphin emulator, but that shit probably like I don't know even what the N64 emulator would be. I think no cache might be that. The no cache GBA that makes N64 games. These guys can fucking move. Almost every character in this game seems to have a fucking movement range of at least half the battle. Which is insanity.
And they got Quake. They got the Quake games.
Yep.
Ooh, Rage 1 and then Rage 2. And then that. Call of Cthulhu. That fucking.
Oh yeah, I just leveled my tank up.
All these games I've never really heard of. What the fuck?
Like what?
Like, EXen, the Death Knights of the Dark.
What was it called?
Yeah, I'll show you.
The first word?
Yeah, I'll show you.
I'm not looking. Just I got my stream up on the other thing, but I should pull it up. Hexen. Interesting. Oh. Oh, it's just a Doom ripoff. It's a melee version of Doom.
Yeah.
Alright, how am I gonna extricate my healer and my mage out of this? That's the question.
Oblivion.
Yeah, great
Good
game.
times.
I gotta fucking go back and play Morrowind, dude. I never actually played Morrowind.
I've never played Morrowind either.
But it's not like an easy game to play. It's ancient. Like, actually ancient. Like, Oblivion was hard enough just because of how old it was. With, like,
Oh,
the
no,
hit reg
son,
and stuff.
Oblivion was not that hard. I fucked Oblivion up.
Yeah, no, I don't mean hard, like, in terms of difficulty of how the game is, as much as it's just, like, the difficulty of figuring out whether or not your shit's actually gonna do what it's supposed to do or not. Like,
More
the
links.
fucking, the hit reg and shit.
You know what? Let me actually look up some gameplay of Morrowind and see what it was like.
Try out this Regal sword. Oh, damn, okay. Regal sword kicks ass. Heard. And that's a level up for my boy Ike. You've probably actually heard. You played Smash Bros and shit, right?
Yeah,
You play Brawl?
yeah, of course.
You know Ike and Marth?
Of course.
They're from this game. This is the game that they're actually from, Fire Emblem.
Oh. Oh, yeah!
Damn, bro, my boy Ike is holding it down.
Dude, look what Morrowind
Oh, and
used
his
to look
weapon
like.
leveled up. That's wicked. I know what Morrowind used to look like. I've played the game, or I've like seen people play the game.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was ugly.
It was.
Yep. It's still really crazy though, because like it's still there's so much shit. It's like looking at Star Citizen now, where it's like, wow, this is so cool for the fact that like it's really low quality graphics, but the actual visual of what I'm looking at, incredible. You know, same shit, but back then. I mean, this was post, like... This is, like, around the time when, like, you know, you're talking about, like, Doom was, like, the highest graphics game out. So...
Oh my god, look at the looting. Oh,
Yeah.
look how you run. Oh, shit. Wow,
Yep.
that is something else.
Ancient, dude.
Fucking...
What's even crazier is that there was a game before that, Dagger's Fall.
Really? Hold on.
Yep. Yeah, Morrowind isn't even as
Oh,
old as
yeah.
it gets. It gets older than Morrowind. I just find that to be incredible. When you look at Morrowind, you're like, man, this game is old as dirt. And it's like, somebody made a game that looked worse than this. And people played it.
Shit, look at Daggerfall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
God.
Right, though? What's with this bush?
You want to know something? I probably would have played it, too.
Yeah.
Because...
Why is this bush glowing? I don't understand.
Left hand equipped, right hand equipped. Oh, what the fuck?
Whatever.
Oh god, that's what happens when you kill a thief. Look how what they look like.
Yeah.
But you was able to collect their armor and shit. That's what it's supposed to be like.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait for the new Elder Scrolls game. It's gonna be forever before it comes out, but once it does, dude, oh my god, I'm gonna be all over it. To be able to play into a game that's that, like, go learn about what's around type shit again, like Skyrim, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I would kill for that. It's kind of part of what I love about Star Citizen so much is it's like, while it's not Skyrim at all, it definitely does have that you could explore this forever and keep running into new shit type of feeling. But it's just not, the game hasn't been fleshed out enough that that's actually true yet, so.
Yeah. What was before?
This is hysterical, dude. The AI in this game kind of suck. They don't trigger until you get within a certain number of squares of them. So like, they just sit there and allow you to like fully regroup and shit. My healer was at 6 health. Now I'm gonna fully heal him. It's gonna take 3 turns. Like, come on. What are you doing?
Okay.
What are you doing? The only
I'm
problem
looking at
is,
the
huh?
I'm looking at the first Elder Scrolls.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Is this enough to bait you out? It is. Bro, these people literally cross the whole fucking map to get to me in one turn. It's nuts. I'm like, I'm gonna sit on the outside of their range, and then I think I do, and they like run across the map all the way to me and then attack. Like, okay, never mind.
Wait, hold on. Are you streaming?
Mhm.
What are you streaming on?
YouTube. Same place I'm always streaming now.
You stream on YouTube? Okay, what's your name
Yep.
on YouTube?
Sometimes _GGs. Same thing it is in all the games, just with the S, because somebody took my fucking sometimes _GG. Which is, annoying, because they don't even use their channel. But, you know, oh well. Okay.
Oh, yep. Let's have fun.
Yep.
Oh, I heard myself say, "What's your name on YouTube?"
Yep, it's a 10-second delay, and there's nothing I can do about that. So. But yeah. It doesn't even show you're watching. Weird. Javis Holiday?
Javis Holiday.
Javis?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, is that your actual name?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Alright. What's up, Javis? I'm Alex.
Nice to meet you, Alex.
Indeed. How the fuck do I even... Yeah. There you go. But yeah, this guy's my healer. This guy's my mage. These two are tanks. Guy's a bowman, and that's the guy that I'm not allowed to get killed. This guy's my captain. If he dies, I lose the game.
Let me go see what's going on down. The Star Citizen. Jesus, Morrowind looks so crazy, bro.
Yeah. Supposed to be remastering the old ones at some point.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for number 6. So
Somebody made a mod of Oblivion that turns it into Morrowind. It's a complete overhaul of the entire game. And so you get to use Oblivion's mechanics to play Morrowind. Which is interesting, because that is a lot better. It's not great, but it's a lot better.
So I was thinking of a game called Hunt Showdown.
Oh, yeah. So I've seen that. And it looks interesting. But it also looks like one of those games, like, you really gotta know what the fuck is going on. Like, I watched this guy, I don't remember his name because I never paid attention to his name. But, he's some, like, streamer of Hunt Showdown. And he's obviously really good, so it's obviously, like, he's playing in, like, higher MMR lobbies and blah, 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 whatever. But, like, it definitely seems like one of those, like, he's looking out for a lot of shit that I would never in a million years have even known that you needed to look out for, type of shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it feels like one of those games where you die a lot of the time to your lack of understanding of the game and not to somebody else outplaying you.
But I played it before. I just need friends to play it.
Heard. How much
So
is
whenever
it?
it's $39.99.
Oh.
I'm not buying it right now, but
Can you play it
I
for
would.
free?
Yeah, I played it a while back.
For free?
Yeah.
Interesting. So why would anybody pay for it then?
No, it was for the beta.
Get fucked, bitch. Yep. Get fucked. I cannot believe I didn't lose anyone in this match. I really gotta pay more attention to that shit. And account for these guys' absurd fucking range of movement. Oh, I don't even have to fight the other guys.
You got a javelin.
I did get a javelin. Yeah, your fucking weapons have use numbers. Like, it's got a limited number of uses. So you have to, like, collect more as you go along to supply the people that you have. Otherwise, they have to use lesser shit. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, looks like we're fighting to save ourselves. Oh, Fog of Wartime. Yay. no idea what I'm up against. Oh, and it doesn't even... I can't even cheat to find out. Nice. Defend for 6 turns. Oh, I gotta... Okay. Gotcha. Bless you.
Thank you.
This is everybody. Everybody's up. That's funny. Alright.
So there's this game called Kingdom Come Deliverance, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I played it, and I'll be honest with you, the fucking game is awesome.
Yeah. It's something. I'm not a big, like, that type of gamer. I don't do the whole melee combat thing at all so far. And I'm not saying I'll never do it, but right now, definitely not trying to get into the whole melee combat video gaming. It's not my thing. Alright,
Yeah.
hold on. Definitely want to swap him and Ike. I can't swap him and Ike. Are you fucking kidding me? I have to stick Ike in the back. It's cool. Alright, then we'll just play it that way. Call it a day. Whatever. I don't like that. I didn't do very much damage with that attack. I should have backed him off.
$13 right there. Yeah, well, yeah, if you get
For what?
the Royal Edition, it's worth spending the extra $4.
For what? Kingdom Come?
Yeah.
Gotcha. For the if $4 is the difference between versions, then you're usually gonna get the better version.
Yeah.
You know? Find a time where you're gonna be able to convince me that $4 isn't worth spending to upgrade something.
And plus, fucking Battlefield 4 Premium Edition is $4.79.
Yeah, dude, I'm waiting for that 2042 hype.
Hell yeah. We got another, what, 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good video games that are gonna be coming out within the next, like, couple of years, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to be into this whole making money off video games thing so that I can just get to enjoy them and not have to worry about all that regular life shit. Just fucking make some money, play some video games. God damn, bro, there's so many of them. Fuck me. Suck it, asshole. Really? You're gonna attack her? Oh, that's stupid. So Titania's whole thing, as I've discovered so far, is that she just fucks shit up, dude. That's her whole thing. She is damn near impossible to kill. She dodges half the attacks that are thrown at her, and she one-hits almost every other unit. And that's her entire thing. So it's like, okay,
Wow.
I'll take that.
Miss. Get the fuck out of here.
I gotta heal him. That was my bad. I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, that's why you said Titania. I just seen it 10 seconds later why
Yeah.
you said that.
Yeah, it does take a little bit, so.
Level up.
Yeah, and that's Ike. That's the main guy. So,
Why is he such a low level?
cause he's a kid. Like as per this game, like what he actually like, who he is and shit. He's a kid.
Oh.
It's 24 out of 30. Yeah, we'll survive.
Ew.
Come on, fuck him up. Damn. I really didn't do very much. Yeah, Boyd sucks.
Boyd, the guy with the axe?
This guy, yeah. Boyd sucks. Fuck. Okay. I don't think anyone's there. Which means I wasted all this time trying to support in that direction. Oh, critical hit for the 2 health he's got left. She gains like 1 fucking EXP each time too. It's really annoying. He's got vulneraries, so I'll just use that. Health potions. Gotta love them. Oh, so the bushes only heal the enemy people. They don't heal me. They just don't heal me.
I see what you said by the critical hit.
Yeah. Swinging her fucking shit around.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck this.
Why is there so many enemies? Holy shit.
Because they're mad.
So what is the like real story of the game? Like, are they like
right
fighting?
Now, so Ike's dad is the head of a mercenary group, which are these people. And this mercenary group goes around and helps the kingdom's people just do shit and keep them safe and blah blah blah. So like they're good mercenaries, like, essentially. Oh fuck. Oh yeah, suck a dick, dude. My healer dodges your shit. So they're good mercenaries essentially, and Ike has been placed in control of this contingent of them because his dad is gonna go to the battlefield where the country's capital has been attacked by another country. And so now Ike is in charge of all of these people, and he is going to lead them to go save all of the country people as this army makes its way through the countryside. And then eventually I assume meet back up and help deal with the major army. Blah blah blah.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Oh, I should have been trading shit off of her. Whoops. I don't know where the fuck she got all the fucking vulneraries. Damn, I'm gonna have to lose some. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. No, I don't give a shit about the torch. Yeah, fuck the torch, dude. I'll live without a torch.
Damn, critical hit. Oh, 1 tap.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I literally just make a wall with fucking Titania and then just watch as they throw themselves at her and die. She'll kill more on defense than she will on offense most of the time. Because on offense, I can only throw her at one person. Whereas on defense, more than one person will attack her, and more than one person will get one hit KO'd by her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll see it in a second. She just goes on a streak. Fucking murders everyone. They all just keep attacking her. Oh, here we go. We're doing it again. Here comes another one. Oh, and like half the time they don't even fucking hit her. If they hit her every time, there's a possibility they might have been able to wear her down with their numbers. But like she dodges half of their shit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one. She's been attacked by 6 people this round. And like,
okay, she got hit that time.
Yep. Oh my god, dude, this is disgusting. This is disgusting.
Yo, they really do keep
That's
attacking
what I'm
her.
saying. Oh, they're still going, dude. They're still going on my end. Like, straight up live right now, she's still getting attacked by people. There's just new units coming out of the fucking mist and dying every time they do. Over and over and over again.
Oh my god, they're just coming out of the fucking darkness.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And they just keep coming. There's more. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, there's more. This one's fucking throwing his spears at her. And he didn't even hit her. What a fucking... God,
They
dude.
hit her twice.
Another one. Another one. This one walked up to her. This guy's gonna die too. This entire turn, they've cumulatively attacked her enough to bring her down to 24 of her health instead of 31. They're still going! They're still fucking going, dude. They're still fucking going.
Wow. He threw it at her and missed. Ah!
Yeah, dude. Aw, damn, her steel axe broke. Now her other steel axe is gonna break because it's already at 1 health. It just broke right there. Yep, there it is.
Hold on.
Okay, finally.
Well, here, go to my chat real quick.
Your what?
My chat.
Your Discord?
Yeah. There we go.
Are we looking? Are we waiting for somebody?
Yeah. There we go. Alright. I'm watching him play in Fire Signal or
Fire signal. Fire emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Herp derp.
Old school.
Dude, I saw Fire Emblem, but like I remember going to GameStop and it was on the shelf, and I was just like, I don't want to play that.
It was always there. Have you ever got into like Advanced Wars and that
Yeah,
kind of gameplay?
I
It was amazing.
just beat Dual Strike, and
Yeah.
I'm playing Days of Ruin, and it sucks. So I was looking for a different game. But I've never
You know
played
what was
any of the
actually-
Fire Emblem games before, so I'm gonna beat all of them, and this is on the hardest difficulty.
The one on the Game Boy Advance, I think the first one.
Yeah.
That one I played, and it was actually surprisingly good.
Hold on, I can actually tell you what it was called. It was the Binding Blade or the Blazing Blade. One of the two.
Were you talking about Diablo 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But yeah, no, insanely good story. I was completely caught off guard. I thought it was just gonna be like a tactics type game, and then I was just grabbed by the story, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Need to know what happened, what's going on with who, and then find out that if character dies in a fight, they die
Like
in the
permadeath,
story.
yeah.
And it's like, oh well, fuck.
Yeah. I've had my healer, my only healer, and Ike both escaped death by a miss. Ike did it twice, where he dodged shots that would have killed him. It's like, bro.
I'm gonna play this game for once, see where this takes me. Do we want hard? Hard bastard. I'll keep it on hard. Iron Man next.
You get ukulele as well.
No, but I will.
If you ever liked Banjo Kazooie back in the day, you'll like ukulele.
Well, I did.
Yeah, it's supposedly a spiritual successor to it.
Oh god. You wanna know what this looks like?
I don't know what.
This game looks a lot.
Was it number 7? 7, whatever it was called. Like a cel-shaded spy game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking spy versus spy.
No, it was 13. I think that's what it was called. Like XII. Or XIII.
Looks like an old Xbox 360 indie game.
Interesting graphics. I just hate cell shading. Anytime I played Borderlands, I always found a way to disable it. Just because the game looks so much better without it.
You gotta be shitting me. The archer goes straight for my healer too? Fuck me, dude. I might lose him. Oh, I'm gonna lose him. Oh, I'm fucked. Son of a bitch, dude. I knew I shouldn't have done that. Oh, never mind. This guy's trying to capture his shit. Wait, they took it? What?
You playing on an emulator?
Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm playing on a fucking dolphin. Bro, they just took my castle by simply walking onto the square. I thought they'd have to, like, do something on the square, at the least, like, for a turn. No. Apparently not. Literally just fucking took the shit and moved on. That's fucking crazy. What an asshole. What an asshole. Well, at least I know nobody comes from the right now, and I can actually use this motherfucker. Wait.
But yeah, I was trying out the Diablo 2 beta last night.
Word.
Put a few minutes in. Kind of surprised to see that they remade all of the cinematics as well.
Oh, word. That's pretty dope, actually.
That was one of the big things that the Blizzard team canceled on for Reforge and why they got burned so hard.
Mm.
They basically promised like they'd redone all the cinematics and the story was going to be complete and the multiplayer was going to be functional and all that. And then the day that the game comes out, they turn off Warcraft 3's original servers so it wouldn't function anymore and that you had to re-buy the game. And then when you bought the game, it had none of the shit that they promised. Like the new graphics barely were functional. It was stuttery. There was absolutely no cutscenes in the game. They just turned it into fucking like pictures. Like they could have just put the old cutscenes in from the original version, but they just cut it out entirely because they only had like 4 of them finished.
Nice.
But yeah, that was such a shit show. That entire team's basically been put into office duty permanently, and they hired the studio that did the Tony Hawk Pro Skater remake. And yeah, they turned into a love project for them. And the only reason they got it is because one of the guys that was working on the source code rebuild actually worked for the company.
Nice.
Yeah. And how he did that was a fucking miracle. So, like, I don't know if you knew this, but the original source code for Diablo 2 was lost completely. Like, every version that Blizzard had was gone.
Nice.
So the guy who got the source code found a copy of a PlayStation 1 version of like Diablo 1 that had updated code on it for the new engine for Diablo 2 that they were working on, because both systems were being worked on at the same time.
Okay.
And then it never ended up getting released or finished. But this guy got all the code off of some DVD he got out of an auction or something like that, and then started working on it himself and basically just broke it down and recreated the source code from a unfinished PlayStation 1 port.
Nice. That's incredible.
Yeah, and
Talk
the
about
reason we
fucking
have...
re-engineering.
Yeah,
Or
completely.
reverse
Like,
engineering, I mean.
like he had to white room reverse it too. Like that's like one of the only legal way you can copyright steal something is if like you have the material and you can copy it without actually copying the material word for word. It's
Gotcha. So
stupid
essentially rewriting it.
plagiarism law. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
plagiarism lots.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just Whiteroom completely re-reversed it, and they plugged it into the game files, like what you get on the CD and shit,
Mhm.
after making it, and it just worked flawlessly.
Huh.
So they started working on the new graphics engine and all the new models and how the engine could like speak and how fast it could do it. So it was no longer locked to the 20 frames a second. And
Nice.
oh my god, it is so nice to play Diablo 2 at 144 frames a second.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet.
Yeah, I was hooked on that game for so many years. I played it for a few minutes, like, this is perfect. Like,
This is what I wanted it to be.
This is what I wanted Diablo 3 to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did some small quality of life changes, like super minuscule things, because they're converting, since it was a console port that they converted and made the source code from,
Mhm.
they actually were fully able to convert it to be able to run on modern consoles. That's why it's
Nice.
getting a PS5 and Xbox One release and all that,
Huh.
or Series X, whatever you call it. I can't follow the names for consoles these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you didn't play Diablo 2 super much, or certain characters, Barbarian had an ability called Leap,
Okay.
and it could let you jump anywhere where you were clicking. Well, consoles don't really have that ability, so they changed it to be like a set location and
Okay.
set distance, so it's more of a skill you have to practice now.
Okay.
Uh,
Interesting.
auto gold pickup and other small tiny things, but other than that, it is 100% true, faithful remake.
Huh. And all off of that crazy miracle of being able to fucking figure out the source code.
Yeah,
It's
that
nuts.
was a 20-year adventure, I'm pretty sure.
Nuts.
Oh yeah, so been working on the lighting in my room.
Word.
Let's see how it looks on my camera. Well, that's 100 times better. A little dark though.
You're much brighter now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not overexposed as well. Like my head's not all fucking sunlight.
Oh, you are on mine.
But it's not as bad as it was,
Fair enough.
because it could have been this. This is what,
Oh yeah, now your whole face is.
yeah, so.
Yeah, I see it.
Good. There.
Nice.
I have to have my LED light at like 30%. Oh well, it looks good at least.
Yeah, if it
Little
works, it
fuzzy.
works.
We'll probably clean up the fuzz with like NVIDIA shit, but eh. Other than the old school and well, free games, what have you guys been playing lately?
Star Citizen and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just grinding to try to get a ship.
dope.
Try to get an Eclipse so I can go grind the highest value bounty hunting missions. So I can just go blow up the hammerheads in with one missile.
Yep. Fingers crossed in a couple months I can join you on that.
Yeah,
I
dude.
just want the game to be a little more.
Yeah,
in a
no,
complete
I
state.
I'm right there with you. I'm only getting the value out of this right now because I haven't done this stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's not like I've been playing with this. We just found this one guy when Zombie and I were playing, and he's pretty much where he's like done everything. He has all the ships and shit, so on and so forth, and so he's just fucking around most of the time. It's like it was
Dope.
fun to like we got into Hammerhead and we like blew up a bunch of ships coming into port and all that kind of stuff. Got a nice big crime stat, but like then it was like a whole day's worth of trying to get rid of that crime stat before I could make money again. And then on top of that, it's like, I mean, it's more fun than bounty hunting for sure, but it makes me no money at all. So it's kind of just a waste of time for me right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, really, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get to the point where he's at, essentially, which is I have a whole bunch of ships. I've done most of everything. I'm just kind of fucking around, doing whatever's fun, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And fingers crossed that they don't fucking account reset you for release.
Well, yeah, but at the end of
But-
the day, dude, honestly, like, if I have to grind through this early grind stuff again, I'm not gonna be that mad about it.
And you'll probably at least know what you're doing at that point. So.
Well, and that's kind of part of
Be
the other
quicker.
thing, is it's like, it's really not that bad. In terms of, like, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Where is
Yeah,
this?
Star Citizen's really high up there for one of the titles I want to get into.
Yeah. Well, and what's
Another
gonna be
one's,
so... Let's go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what's gonna be so nice about it is just that fucking, like, there's just gonna be so much to it all the time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially when you got like a group of people that you do it with and all that.
Have you ever played any of the survival games like Ark or Rust or anything
No.
like that?
So I tried to play Ark and I couldn't figure out what to do,
Yeah,
all?
it
like
it's
literally
a-
at all. So then I just stopped, and then and I haven't tried any of the other stuff. Never played Rust. Never played any of the other ones.
Rust is a little more PvP oriented
Mhm.
than Ark is. Well, more player to player instead
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
player owned AI.
Yeah,
to
I've
player.
witnessed a lot of Rust, and I've also witnessed a good bit of the other types of survival games. I just never played them myself.
Ark was one of the ones I got really big into. But anyways, so to break down what a survival game is, you have to go around, collect certain types of resources that are, say, at the level you can gather. When you start out
Mhm.
using Ark, for example,
Minecraft.
yeah, you have to go around, punch trees, get wood,
Yeah, use
gather
that wood to
stones
get
to
shit
make
that
a
makes it so that you
shovel.
can get something better.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you're eventually working your way up to metal and all that. In Ark and other survival games, you have to like build a base, worry about like food and water, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
In Ark, you can tame dinosaurs to help you do certain tasks like gather more metal or certain other materials to help you progress faster and then make yourself clothing and armor and continuously progress up the tier trees of different things and become stronger. And ultimately be in like a giant metal base with like tech gear and
Mm-hmm.
giant T-Rexes who will defend you and shit like that. That's what Ark eventually boils down to. But the whole persistence of staying in a world and being able to place something down and it be yours and stay there until someone either comes by and destroys it or takes it from you
Yeah.
is one of the huge things that I'm looking forward to. Like the biggest draw to me in Ark was when you logged off, you just passed out on the ground.
Yeah.
You were always in the world.
Yeah.
So you had to build yourself a well-protected base, get yourself in a room. You couldn't just pass out in the wild and go, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, my character just disappeared. Fuck you.
It's like, no, you're
So-
still there. You're just laying in a bush.
Yeah. That style of survival or persistence, as a lot of developers
Yeah.
call it, is one of the big things that they are adding to Star Citizen. It's going to make the game insanely different.
Yeah.
So, like, when you go on a trade mission right now, you go and basically go to a trader or whatever, and select an item to transport. That item
Mhm.
becomes just a bunch of letters and a weight
Yeah.
number in your inventory. Nothing more than
Yeah.
that. In
No
the future
tangible.
iteration, it's going to be a certain size of box that you're either going to need a vehicle to move it or pick it up yourself and then go
Yeah.
and place it on your ship and then deliver it to a place.
Yep.
Building structures and gun placements and all that kind of shit is going to be that same kind of mechanic. So you're going to have to load up like turrets and walls and
Yep.
doors and all that onto your ship and then go build a base on a planet with
Yeah.
your buddies. And I think that is going to
And literally
really
transport
unlock
the
the game.
materials there, yeah. Well, and that's
Yeah.
one of the things I'm really looking forward to in one of the other games we were talking about, which is Ashes of Creation, which is the whole concept of, like, You go mine a bunch of shit, that's awesome, but you have to now get it somewhere to sell it. Like it's not just
Yep.
like a you mined it, you win. You know, it's now there, it doesn't go anywhere until you sell it, and then when you sell it, you just make money. That it's that simple. It's like
Yeah.
literally like no, you mine this shit, and you brought it back to your town, and then your town is not buying it right now, so you have to take it to a different town where you want a better price, or they're buying it or
Yep.
whatever. And you so now you actually have to fucking cart it there, and in the meantime, some other asshole can run by and be like, ha ha, fuck you, my materials now. I'm gonna go
Yep.
sell these. And
I
it's
played
like
thousands of hours of Albion, and that's exactly what it's like, just in a Dota style gameplay.
exactly. So I'm very intrigued by how that goes as well for that exact same reasoning where it's like it's going to be very interesting to see to have games where that kind of shit matters cuz there's no games like that right now for the most part other than the ones that are like you're talking about Rust and all that where it's very specific.
The
Like
very first one, the classic EverQuest one.
mm,
That was the first like full loop PvP. Like you needed to transport materials around to make it. That was like the big one, and yeah,
gotcha.
people are still chasing that dream.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm totally on board with you for Ashes of Creation. When that comes out, that's probably going
Yeah.
to be my new title. But yeah, as I was trying to lead to earlier of other titles that I'm super hyped for, like outside of the MMO space, I might have mentioned to you guys this one. It's called Project Zomboid. It's an isometric kind of view. Think kind of the Sims kind of gameplay, but add in zombie survival as well.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
And
you have to
you
like
can
build
do-
your little town and all your people and build them up and shit while they survive zombies.
Yeah, well, the game world is based off of a location in Kentucky,
Okay,
where the developer was originally born and all that. That's
that's cool.
where he said his inspiration came from for it. But you can do like the old version of where they're remaking multiplayer right now because the old code wasn't too great. But anyways, you could have like 50-player survival style gameplay, like I was saying, or just straight up PvP, co-op. Like you could have a 50-man co-op server in this
Yeah.
game, and the game can literally visibly show you thousands of zombies at a time.
Nice.
And
So it's very
yeah,
much like an actual thing, not just like oh hey we said there's some zombies there. It's like no, there's like a whole fucking horde of zombies like right there.
yeah.
It's a serious problem.
Yeah. So think of The Sims with kind of like twin stick style controls for movement instead of like a click and go kind of thing.
Okay.
And you can equip clothing, eat food, you need to do meds. If you get scratched or bitten, you have to worry about getting infected.
Heard.
And there's just so much control for settings in the game. You can basically
Word.
create any kind of zombie scenario that you want, like say a movie or a TV show. Like you can make the Walking Dead style zombies where everyone's infected and you only become a zombie when you die. Or you can have like a 28 days later kind of zombie where it's like airborne, but everyone's like sprinters and
Yeah.
only active at night.
Yeah.
You can just change every little aspect like that.
That's really wicked.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for it, but development's been a little slow for the multiplayer, but that's
Gotcha.
mostly because I just switched from like a crappy 2D engine that basically ran in a web browser years ago
Nice.
to a new 3D engine.
Heard. Something a
But
little
yeah,
bit
you'll-
more oomph.
Yeah, you'll have to check it out. It's called Project Zomboid.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I just
Yeah.
realized that's what y'all was talking about.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for that. And when the multiplayer comes out for that, I'm probably just gonna buy a 4-pack on my secondary account and just give a bunch of people copies.
Heard.
Because I've already done that with my main account, so I can't buy another 4-pack.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm gonna try and get as many people onto like my one server.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Oh yeah,
Group people up, get a thing going, and make it good.
yeah. And we can even do like group versus group kind of thing. So like 4 or 10 of us, or however many are on one team and the other team, we can have like a base and respawn there and do like certain fighting events and try and steal shit from each other. But yeah, Project Zomboid's super fucking detailed. It's a huge learning curve to start playing the game, but as soon as you understand it,
Mm-hmm.
it is thousands of hours of repeatability.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've put in like 400 or 500 hours into the game in single player, and I'm pretty much a multiplayer or like co-op only person.
Yeah. I feel that.
Oh yeah, speaking of gaming news, did you guys ever play Splinter Cell Chaos Theory back in the day?
No.
No.
I only had a
It was-
GameCube.
Oh. So, Splinter Cell had a very different style of multiplayer than a lot of games these days. So it was a third-person, non-lethal kind of spy who could like climb walls and go across pipes and hides in the shadows and do stuns and breaknecks and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then the opposite team was a first-person shooter who could do like
Ah.
body checks and have control of cameras and crazy flashlights and motion detectors and mines and all these really cool things, and you basically had to defend the map as these first-person shooter soldiers called mercs from the spies. And yeah, it was just this really cool 2v2 or 3v3 gameplay.
Yeah.
And developers recently announced that since Ubisoft won't remake Splinter Cell in any way or be honorable to that gameplay, like they were back in the day for Splinter Cell Chaos Theory and Double Agent,
Mm-hmm.
that they're going to go ahead and make their own game based off of that exact gameplay. So, and
Nice.
it's called Spectre. The trailer they put out for it's fan made at best, but it's got a lot of the right concepts. Like these guys were big fans. The only thing that's
Yeah.
got me a little worried is I was an Xbox player and we had 3v3 in that
Mm-hmm.
version of the game. And these guys are like, yeah, we're going for the true 2v2 gameplay. I'm like, oh, motherfuckers, they were PS2 players.
Gotcha.
But Splinter Cell had this really cool co-op system. Not a lot of games really go for these days, where you actually had to work with the other player to like get up to certain ledges or be thrown across.
Oh yeah,
areas
yeah,
and-
yeah, like Army of Two type shit.
Yeah, absolutely. That was another game that was really good.
Yeah, well,
They need to remake that.
yeah, they need to make a bigger. They need to not remake it, but like make a new one.
Yeah.
A better one.
Absolutely.
That like stays true to the concepts of the old one. Cause like
Yeah, that's more
they,
what
if
I was
they
leading
opened
to.
it up a lot more, like made it a little bit less like tight laney and a little bit more like open lane type of shit,
Mm.
then they could really do a whole lot with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus nowadays, I mean, you can online co-op, you know, so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that type of game could totally thrive if people would just get into the idea of making online co-op games, you know? What the fuck is that? Oh, I don't like that.
Did you play the game A Way Out?
No.
It was a short little like 4 or 5 hour co-op game.
Yeah, my brother
But
and
it
his
was-
friend played it.
It was made in the spirit of Chaos Theory's co-op, but it was a co-op only game. And it was
Yeah.
really fucking cool. And
Yeah,
just the
I
fact
watched
that
a little
both
bit
players
of my
had their
brother
own
playing
story.
it. It definitely seemed interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that I would really love to see too is some type of a new age version of a Lego Star Wars type of shit, where it's like
There's a game actually I was looking at recently. Fuck, what was it called? It's Star Citizen meets fucking Lego fucking Star Wars basically.
nice.
Fuck, where is it? Did I put it on my wish list?
Taking too long with these cutscenes. Man, I made it 6 chapters in and I haven't lost anybody, and I'm fucking terrified. This game is scary as shit. I've never played a strategy game that was this consequential. There's never been a strategy game I played that was permadeath, that was this kind of square concept. Especially not a melee type fucking strategy game like this with permadeath. And it's like, oh my god, dude, this is literally like I shit myself every time that I accidentally leave one of my supports exposed to like a single attack. I'm like literally shitting myself. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my healer. I'm gonna lose my only fucking healer. I'm gonna not have any healers anymore, and I'm gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, that is not what happened. Thank God. What in this shit is happening here? I'm not actually like reading any of the story though. Not gonna lie.
Mm. Starbase, I think it's called.
Okay.
Here, the description. Starbase is a hybrid voxel vortex-based space MMO with fully destructible and infinitely expanding universe, with a focus on building and designing spaceships, stations, exploration, resource gathering, crafting, trading, and combat.
Okay, yeah.
Like, they even have a programming menu so that you could make your own panels and stuff for your ship.
Nice. Oh, shit, they have mages now. And healers. That's not good.
But yeah, a lot of people have been talking about this one. I can link it over to you if you want.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good new games coming out. Like, we're just in a really good time for developing. Because there's just so much new capability that we just didn't have previously. Because we've spent the last, like, 10 to 15 years, you know, just trying to make it so that we could do the shit we actually want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how many of these games that are coming out now. All of a sudden, it's like everybody's making a space game. It's like, the fuck did you all come up with space game from so at the same time?
Because being able to go from one planet, like say you have one planet, right? You have one map where you're exploring, you've explored all the like the animals, the enemies on that planet. Then you want to go to the next planet and like go, and then like you want to fight shit in space. Like it's just fun. Like the idea of being able to go to multiple places
Yeah.
with so much content excites people. That space games are like, that's just the way to go. Like, if you like, have you ever played Empyrion Galactic Survival?
No, I never even heard of that.
Okay, so Empyrion Galactic Survival, I feel like fucking Star Citizen bit off that idea for a little bit, because that's what you can do in there. You can build ships, you can explore different planets, different enemies, different factions that you play, like that you are with, and like you can literally start a war with shit. You can build a base on planet and a base in space, wherever. You can build multiple bases. Like, there's
Nice.
space bases, land bases, and then on top of that, there's like say you're on the bad side of a faction. The faction will literally track you down, come to your base, and try to like destroy your shit. But you can have defenses, shields. It's actually it's a really cool game. I stopped playing it because I kind of like, I played it heavy, bro. Like, I was, oof.
Yeah, well,
But
part of the other part too is that it's like the technology has only barely been there for the writing of these games to be actually persistent. It's like, because like up until 5-7 years ago, you pretty much had to have a loading screen to be able to get in between things. Like, the concept
or
of
a small
just
map that's meshed.
exactly. So like the concept of like having a map that wasn't tiny and being able to just physically travel around it and go see shit, like that's just not how it works at all. So it's like, until a game like Skyrim, that kind of stuff, where it was like, or I guess really more like Oblivion, where they really started into the concept of like, no, massive world, massive shit to do. And like each place is unique and written on its own. It's not just like a carbon copy of every other place again, type of shit. But then like now here we are, we're finally getting the tech to be able to do that for like a very large scale, instead of just instead of just small scale. But I think part of it too, what's really funny about it is I think these space people, the space games figured out, they were like, wait a second, if we make the scale absolutely massive, we don't have to fill the whole fucking thing. It's
Yep.
space. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be empty. Like, we don't have to have this massive solar system where every single inch of it has assets and all of this other crazy shit. Like, 90% of this shit's gonna be fucking empty. All we gotta
Yeah.
do is write the places where you can actually go, and then make sure that we fill in a little bit of the space in between with stuff that makes it feel immersive and realistic, so you're not just like in blank space the whole time, you know, staring at a 2D
Yeah.
version, 2D paper of some stars. But it's like, but past that, I mean, like, you really are not. It's not as crazy as making like a game where you have run around on the ground in an open world, you know, where it's like,
Yeah.
because when you do that, you got to fill in all the spaces, you know. And if
Yeah.
you don't, it's really kind of stupid because then you're running around and you get in this really shitty patch of trees all the way at the back of some mountain and there's literally nothing there. And you're just like, wow, this is a waste of my fucking time.
Whereas with space games, you can like take advantage of a lot of really cool like programming techniques. One of them being like non-Euclidean geometry. And basically, with that, you can take like a tiny little space, call it like a 5x5 space, but to move from space 1 to 5, wake up, puppy. Hey, someone's having a bad dream. To say move to space 1 to 5 would take like 3 seconds.
Mhm.
It's not very long. But in the middle of that space, there's a non-Euclidean void. You walk into that space, and it just feels like you're in a massive hallway.
Mhm.
And instead of it taking 3 seconds to move from point 1 to 5, it takes like 15 or 20 seconds. And then you literally just pop out at point 5.
Which is just as
position
many
5.
meters as it would have been if you had walked for 5 seconds if there wasn't the void.
Yeah, it's
But
just an
instead,
artificial
slows it down.
movement and
It's a perception
perspective
fuck.
change. Yeah, exactly. It's
It's literally
a
just
optical
like
illusion.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah,
That's crazy. That's really cool. That's the
Yeah,
kind of shit that I'm so excited for about the concept of just digitally writing games, though. It's like,
Yeah.
like just the general idea that I'm only 20 something and they're just now getting started on the whole concept of like digitally recreating spaces or creating spaces digitally. And so
Yeah.
it's like 20 years from now, if it only took us 20 years to go from making computers that have the internet to this, it's like
Mm.
20 years from now we'll fucking be in full VR worlds, and that's what I'm looking for. Fucking full dive, baby.
Yeah, basically,
Full
here's
dive me
a
into Star
visual
Citizen.
example of what I was talking about.
Let's try it.
So, let's see.
The good old Unity engine.
Mhm.
Have you been watching any of the Unreal 5 shit? Just the test
Oh yeah,
demos and stuff.
it looks amazing.
It's incredible. Have you seen that one demo with the giant fucking the giant boss thing with the laser beam?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, dude, it's I think it's an Unreal one.
It's just been like
I'll be
the.
right back.
Okay.
alright.
Okay. So in this case, we're walking a longer distance in a shorter period of time instead of a shorter distance in a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And then this one will be the opposite, right? Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, this will be a longer distance in a shorter period, or a shorter distance in a longer period of time.
But yeah, this is basically the
Interesting.
rendering technique they use in space games a lot of the time.
That's really, really cool. And this way, they don't actually have to physically create all the space in between
Mhm.
these
Eh.
planets and shit.
Or they can artificially create it too.
Yeah. Well, and I imagine at this point in a game like Star Citizen, they have the technology to make it so it kind of works both ways. Where, like, you can physically move through it at a normal pace, but you can also move through it not only quickly, but, like, in a way where you're physically traveling through less space.
Yeah.
Like, you're just moving a lot farther.
There's actually a game designed exactly around this kind of rendering technique that it's a total mind fuck.
That's
It's
really
called
cool.
the Stanley's Parable.
Oh
It popped up
yeah.
on it
Yeah,
popped up on Epic a while back, and if you
Yeah,
have it and haven't
I've
played
seen
it,
it around.
yeah, it is a total mind fuck. It'll keep your brain twisted for hours.
Yeah, I'll bet.
It'd fuck your head up more than Portal, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is basically what I was trying to lead to.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many different little techniques that you can get into when you're operating outside of needing to be in like a 2D or 3D space.
Yeah.
Hell, this guy's even shown some like other really cool perspective changes and stuff. What was another one? It's basically like a black hole world kind of thing. So it's like an inverted planet, and you can always see like every area of the world. It's like a really
Huh.
fucked up fisheye. It's really
Yeah.
weird.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot that people can do with this stuff. It's very interesting. Oh yeah, okay. Got it. Top half is the visual of what the focus of what you're looking up at, and then
Yeah.
everything else just falls into focus from there. That's crazy.
Yeah. This is him explaining how it works.
Alright, so he's always looking at the center. Yep. Yeah. No, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking wicked. Yep. Right across, and that's why the other side looks like it's half the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hyperbolic visualization.
That's nuts, dude. It's actually nuts.
Some developer did a really cool puzzle game using like fourth dimensional like travel using this like hyperbolic technique. I'm gonna see if I can find it again. Uh,
The fuck?
I'll recognize an image of it almost instantly.
Very specific.
Here it is. This one's really fucking weird.
Jay, can you hear me?
Yo.
Yo. Where's Jay?
I don't know.
AFK at the moment.
Huh?
AFK.
Of course he is, and he's not picking up his fucking phone. Shut up! Ah, I'm gonna kick his fucking ass. Alright, thanks.
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's very strange. Imagining a dimension as a perspective.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, infinite dimensions.
Theoretically, yeah. That was one of the arguments in high school, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. It's just not nearly as useful for everyday shit in terms of dimensions. Like, you're never going to refer to something as being, you know, like one of the many infinite directions instead of up.
Yep.
But, like, when you're talking about, like, actually, like, theoretically what could exist and what may exist and what might already be and how something might function in a way and blah, 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 and you have to look at stuff like this and be like, well, just because we break things down in up, down, left, and right doesn't mean that everything's broken down in up, down, left, and right. So,
Yep.
how can we look
This
at
is-
this a different way?
This kind of shit makes me wish I paid more attention in math class when I was younger.
Right, though? Not math class for me, though. I still am happy with my level of lack of focus in math class. I will happily accept it. I think I did it just enough to be able to understand why I needed to know it, and not enough to be able to understand what the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah.
Which sounds good to me. I'll just
Yeah,
take
it's just
that.
once you start getting into some of these like complex theories
Mhm.
of like rendering, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, and on top of that, obviously, being able to physically create a world like this is a whole nother task. Like, just being able to conceive it is one thing. Being able to, like, create something that functions in this manner is absurd.
Something else completely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, like, literally, like, actually, like the highest levels of using these tools together
You.
to create something that nobody's ever even thought of before. Except that one guy. Because, you know, there's that one guy who's sitting out there who's like, I thought of that. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. Yeah.
Well,
so-
hell, fucking, I thought of Newegg and like
yeah.
how its like whole search system for finding parts was like when I was like 14 or 13 or whatever. And I
Yep.
was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this system and I'm gonna do it. And then I never learned how to program, and then someone else did it.
That's how it works.
Yep.
It was needed. Somebody
Yep.
was going to do it. It was
Yep.
necessary. Oh shit, go back up. Go
Hmm?
back up a little bit more. Do you ever watch The Girl with Dogs?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, dude, I watch that shit. I love that.
she's actually nearby me.
Is she
I think
really?
She's in Toronto.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, those fucking puppers. Ugh. Watching the dogs deal with getting groomed is like one of the greatest things. Especially the huskies,
can-
because I'm such a husky person, and the huskies hate it, dude. And they're loud. Like they will let you know that they fucking hate it, and it's
Yep.
great. I love it.
I've got a pit bull boxer, and I can only imagine that he would sing the song of his people. But yeah, some amazing looking dogs on here.
Oh yeah. Well, it's cool just to learn about stuff too while she's talking about it. Like, she's very knowledgeable about the actual breeds of dogs and like what that means for grooming and health and all of that stuff. Which is always really wicked because it's like, it's one thing to be able to watch a cool pup, you know, get groomed, but like it's
Yep.
another thing to be able to watch them go through that and learn about the process and the dog and what makes them unique and blah blah blah. While the dog is squirming and trying desperately to not have to deal with the water and all of that shit, you know? Gotta love it.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
So yeah, I've got two dogs myself.
Yeah.
Pit bull mix and a King Shepherd boxer.
Nice. Wow, that's an interesting mix.
He's got short hair, kind of like in this picture,
Okay.
but more of a droopy face, like a boxer, like the ears and
Yeah.
cheeks. He actually kind of has almost a lab head
Okay.
because of it.
Okay. I can kind of see the concept of what you're talking about.
Here, I can just do this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, buddy. Yeah, he definitely looks more like a boxer than a shepherd for sure.
Yeah.
He looks pretty
And
much like
then-
a boxer with shepherd coloring.
And my
Almost.
other one is asleep fucking down here somewhere.
Yep, there he is.
Where are you? Yeah. Oh, fucking with the camera.
Yep, it's all good. Yeah, dude. That is the way. Uno momento, I gotta go grab a beer.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'm probably gonna I'm gonna go get some wings, and
Tasty.
then yeah, I'm making the wing. I'm making buffalo wings. So what I'm gonna do is like fry them first, and then make my buffalo sauce. And then I'll
Sounds
be back.
good.
Oh yeah. When I get back, I'm gonna try out Star Citizen, and yeah.
Mm.
You should try it out too. It's free, bro.
I've tried it out in the past. It just wasn't in a state that I wanted to continue playing it.
Well, I'll be back.
Yeah. Talk to you in a bit.
Alright.
Welcome back.
Hello. Tis I.
Got a video about Project Zomboid if you want to check it out. Basically, a guy describing his first week in game, like in game time.
Go for it. I got no audio. Oh wait, no. It's because I'm
process
muted. I'm an
and
idiot.
what I think and what I want to do when I'm surviving. Hopefully it helps you
Literally looks
guys
like
out,
Sims.
and
Yep.
hopefully you guys can survive longer as a result. Now, we spawned in Muldrow.
We talk thumbstick
Muldrow is
movement.
definitely one of the more
You can.
beginner-friendly cities. That
WASD
and
or
Riverside, I think, are the
hold right
best.
click
Rosewood is
to like
definitely third.
Mhm.
see the movement he's in.
Yeah.
That's a look around movement. If you hold
Yeah,
right click and
then
you
the
move your mouse
cursor
around,
shows up. Yeah.
your character will follow your cursor and look around in that
Gotcha.
direction. Now you see how like everything's like blacked out and
Yeah,
stuff
'cause
like
you
that in
can't
the area.
see there.
Yeah, if he goes and looks over there, that whole area will be highlighted. But anything that's like a moving character or zombie, if he looks away from it, it can vanish out of his vision. And unless it makes like some kind of noise near him and he can hear it, it won't show up on screen.
So you're third person, but you're the exact opposite of omniscient. You're literally like you have first person awareness and a third person perspective.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
last play is going to be West Point. West Point, you don't really want to
Well,
spawn in
yeah,
there
the
as
only-
you can
there
see
are
behind
a lot
you,
of zombies
so-
to deal with.
Mhm.
Anyways, it seems like we
Yeah, so
spawned in
far
the richer
the
type neighborhood. This is a very common
few
spawn
features
in
from
Muldrow.
Sims that you'd think would be
And
in
actually,
it aren't in.
I think we're
like
gonna base
needing to
up
go to the
here.
bathroom and stuff
Now,
like
when you
that.
first start off
Oh.
It's just
Zomboid,
little
you
stuff.
don't want to go too far
But
away from
other
the
than that,
beginner house if
there's
you can help
tons
it.
of stuff.
Usually, the
Med
more familiar the
system's
terrain is, the
insane.
better
There's
you
a
will
sewing
do,
system
especially
for
with how we're going to
making
be clearing out
clothes.
some small
Nice.
groups
Whole
of
nine
zombies.
yards.
So we're going to give this entire place a little rundown, see what we actually have cooking. We have some remoulade. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Ice cream, actually really good.
So, just to give you a quick rundown about this, in the top, there's your main inventory right here. There's tabs for if you're carrying some, say, a backpack's on your back, you'll see a backpack item here. If you click on that, that'll be just the whole tab of what's in your backpack. That also works the same for inventories around you. Like, say, this fridge is what he's looking at. He's currently looking in the freezer for it. And then he can click on the next drawer next to him. or he could physically click on them to.
Ice cream is
look in
actually
them
one of the
as
best
well.
items to take
Gotcha.
food-wise. Since we're gonna
Huh.
be living in here, I'm not gonna worry too much about it because it's already in the freezer. But this never goes bad, and it almost has 1,600 calories in it, so it's very dense, very
Jesus
low weight type of
Christ.
food here.
Yeah,
So we're
okay,
just
you
gonna be
weren't
trying
kidding
to
when
look
you
for
said it was
a
going to be in
weapon.
depth.
We have a can opener. Can openers are good.
You need to worry
And
about
I guess
your
before I loot
calorie
anymore,
intake, your
Mhm.
some
fat
of the
intake,
items you
the whole
want to
nine yards.
take on the way,
Yep.
at
I've
least at
actually
the
Fat.
very
died of
start,
protein
is gonna be a
frozen,
bag,
lack of protein a few
weapon,
times,
and
Nice.
basic tools
That
like a
makes
saw
sense.
and hammer.
just
With
because
those,
I
you'll be able
couldn't
to do
hunt
a
Yeah.
enough.
lot more with your character.
That would be hard
So
in
if we
a
can
zombie
find
world.
it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Another thing is you want to be mindful of actually how much weight your character takes on. So I highly recommend not taking any canned food other than canned corned beef or canned chili, because this canned tomato here, it only has 90 calories, yet it almost weighs an entire kilogram. And since we only have 12 kilograms of space, because we don't
Not
have a
kilogram,
bag,
it's a pound.
that's not really the best if we're trying to get a lot of loot and keep on the move. Now, we're actually getting a lot of good stuff here.
Fair
A
enough.
can of oats is probably one of the better as well. 1,500 calories with minus 50 hunger, really good. And coffee is actually one of the best things to grab with you. Your character gets tired over time, and so having this on hand, basically eating this entire thing of coffee, allows your character to stay awake for much longer. There's really no side effects to it as well, other than the thirst and unhappiness.
So there's also a crazy cooking system in this game as well. To
Okay.
make coffee, you would have to take this coffee mug here that's empty,
Mm-hmm.
fill it with water, take the tea bag and combine it with that, and then cook it in some kind of surface, like a
So you'd have to
stove
go
or
through
whatever.
all the steps you would normally have to go through.
Yeah, and then once you're making it, a little red bar pops up on the bottom to show its cooking progress,
Nice.
and then a burning process.
Nice.
So you basically have to go through, put an object on, cook it, and then make it to make an actual like full hot coffee. Otherwise, you get like negatives for like happiness and other stuff like that if you don't make it right. So like you
yeah,
can
'cause
go
you're
straight
drinking
down.
shitty coffee.
Yeah, like the cooking system's so in depth that you can get a bowl and get a knife and go out into the bush, pick a bunch of random mushrooms or random berries and scavenge a bunch of stuff out of the fridge and then make a random salad out of fucking nothing that you have no idea about. And guess what? Because you didn't have a high enough foraging skill to know that that berry you put into your salad was poisonous.
Yeah. Probably gonna
You
die.
just no, you probably just gave yourself the shits or got sick or some way,
Oh, fair
and
enough.
it'll give you like some kind of like Moodle, like you know how in Sims it's like you want to
I've
get
never played
married or
Sims.
whatever. Okay, well like there's certain needs in the Sims that your character wants to fulfill, like
Okay.
get married or poop or fix a TV, stupid shit like that.
Okay.
They show up sort of in this game as something called a Moodle. It's a little circle icon to indicate
They have a
some kind of
desire.
like stress or desire
Gotcha.
that's affecting you. Like
Something that
if-
they want changed.
yeah,
That's
if
making
you're
them unhappy.
yeah, say like you're walking around in the dark at night and you hear something, your character will actually possibly get a Moodle saying that they're anxious because they're scared. And because they have that effect, their accuracy is going to be lower. They're not going to hit as strong right away. You can even walk around a corner and say a zombie's right there in front of you. Your character will get surprised and will actually have negative effects to it as
So
well.
actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to take this tea bag and I'm going to keep it on my character. Basically, this is going to be like a nice little energy drink. Eating the entire tea bag seems a little bit iffy, but trust me, it'll help out if your character's tired and out in the middle of nowhere. We also got some vitamins, which is basically like a tea bag without any of the, downsides. I'll take that as well. So we're just going to be taking a look around. Probably not going to get a lot out of here, but this is a very good spawn, so I'm very happy about that. Hopefully, luck continues to rear its head.
Gotta
So we're
love
gonna go
the
check
fucking
upstairs now.
shitty bowl cut
The first
and
thing
the crouch
you want to
spin.
know as well, no
Yep.
zombies are going to spawn in your starter house, so feel free to just take it as slow as you want. There's going to be no one banging at the door upstairs. Now, actually, right here, we have a radio. This is going to be especially useful if we want to level up our electricity skill, which we currently can't do that right now because we don't have a screwdriver.
Jesus. Look at all those fucking tabs.
Oh, I
Banging
passed
at
it too
them.
far.
Because we don't have a screwdriver.
There you go.
Fucker.
Oh.
There we go.
But it is.
So
Jesus
Basi-
Christ.
just running around, beating on stuff will increase your fitness and stuff like that. You
Okay.
can sprint in the game. Like there's walking, running, and sprinting. Has 3 different states.
Mm-hmm.
You can increase all of those. Nimble's like jumping over walls, fences, sneaking's obvious. As you use specific types of weapons, you gain skills as well. So once you fill the full bar, you get a point into it.
Mm.
And then it's like a 10% increase in damage, accuracy.
Okay.
There's carpentry in the game, so you can build houses and walls and
Nice.
defensive structures, the full
Yep.
cooking. There's a farming system that's actually insanely detailed. So you
Word.
have to like spread your plants out, so if they get
To
disease,
actually,
they
like,
don't spread it around.
Yeah.
There's a whole first aid system. Like if you get bit,
Do that right now
See if
because we
it-
don't have a screwdriver.
at
But
some
it's-
point the health system will pop up and I'll show it to you. But basically, like you have to like suture up like certain big gashes, or if you get a bite, you have to like disinfect it and change your bandages, and then your bandages can get dirty, and you have to replace them and clean them. And there's so many different ways to actually just clean your bandages. You can either go out and get alcohol and soak the bandages in that, or you can just boil them on the stove. Like this game is the zombie survival game.
Yeah.
It's
in
also
my
going to be
opinion.
useful to check them just in case if they
Apparently.
have the emergency broadcast system. All I did is I
Like, the
right-clicked the radio and
graphics
went into
suck,
device
but
options.
it is just
Sometimes-
so.
Well,
These
honestly, they're
radios
really
will
not
have
that
a hidden
bad for
frequency,
what you're looking
and that
at.
will basically
Yeah,
give
this is
you,
a brand new
yeah,
system,
a
though.
news of an incoming chopper
Okay.
or just the
Like
weather
the
in
stuff
general.
that looks
So it's really
really
nice to keep an eye
bad
on
is
these.
still the
You
old
can
stuff,
also
like
get
the
free
floors,
batteries out
the
of these if you want to
furniture,
power up, say, a flashlight or
but
something.
models
All
for
you have to do is
characters
right-click
and
it to
stuff like
remove the
that's all
battery.
been changed, and you'll
Since
see
there's
the
nothing on
vehicles
this
in a
right
bit.
now,
Gotcha.
we're going to leave it be, especially since this is
Oh
our
yeah, there's
starter
even a
home.
full mechanic
Now, if we
system.
could get a
so
bag
Nice.
out of the start,
you can
that
repair
would be
vehicles,
good,
and you have
but
to
it
Yeah.
like.
doesn't seem like we're
Got
going to
'em
get
running.
that lucky.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
the
we're
vehicles
gonna have
are
to
fully
venture out a little
detailed
bit
too.
further,
Like
check out the
for what
neighborhood,
parts
maybe clear
you
out a
need
few
to get
zombies here
for
and
them
there.
and shit.
Word.
Like
Okay,
you can
right
take
here
the hood
we
off,
have
break
quite a bit of
windows,
good stuff. Disinfectant is
replace
going to
the
be great. We're
brakes,
going to leave it
take
in
the
here, as
suspension
that's
out
going to
of
be really
stuff.
useful to have for
Need to find
medical
tires,
purposes.
the
We
tire
also have
pressure.
a sheet here.
Nice.
Now, sheets are really useful because what you can do is you can right-click it and rip these into sheets. These ripped sheets are essentially makeshift bandages for your character. Always having, like, I'd say 5 bandages on your inventory at all times is a must in this, because it is very easy to scratch your jugular and bleed out really quickly. Like, you
Yep.
won't even realize, like, you will have bled out. Now, if you don't find a sheet normally, you can also find a window here. There's a lot of options for this window. See, this actually has a pair of curtains on it. So what we can do is we can remove the curtains, and then we can rip up the sheets that way. Or, on the contrary, I'm actually going to keep this pair of sheets on me, or this sheet on me, because what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to make makeshift curtains. So if some of the windows downstairs don't have any curtains, we can add them on. As you see, there's some more right here. But this is another easy way to actually get bandages. You can remove the curtains and rip up the sheet. And if you're really strapped for time, you can rip up your own clothing into makeshift bandages as well. We're going to try
Of
and
course
make
you
this
can.
place as defendable
Of
as
course you can.
possible. So getting some curtains
That
on
makes
some
just
of
too
these
much
windows is going
sense.
to be nice. Thankfully, it seems
Dean
like we
Hall
have a
actually
few
took a
already
lot
on
of
there.
inspiration
We
for
also
Daisy
have some skill books,
from this
advanced
game.
metalworking,
Heard.
and first aid for beginners.
How old is this game?
The way these skill books work is let's say
5 or
you
6
take first aid for
years older
beginners.
than
You read it
Daisy.
all the way through. You're gonna get a stat multiplier for the first 2
Like
levels
Daisy
of
Mod.
that
Ancient.
skill.
This game's ancient.
So I think it's a 2.5.
I found
increase.
out about it in like
So you won't get any XP from reading the
2007,
books directly, but reading the
think.
book
Yeah,
and
but
then
in
doing
terms of
the
and
skill
it was
will
already
increase
like
your
3
workload
years
by a
old
lot.
at that point,
So
but
what
it
we're
was
gonna do
only a
right now
web
is we're gonna be
page game
closing
at
these
the
Yeah,
time.
and this is what I'm
And we're
saying.
also
This
gonna
game
turn
came out
on
like around
this
/
television.
pre-Oblivion.
There is a Life and Living
Like-
TV show.
Yeah, right around that
And
time.
we
Yeah,
might be
this
able to get some
was
skills
when
out of
like
it.
Flash
I
games were
think
still
it's
a thing.
6 to 9 to some of these.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll drop the actual times for each
Interesting.
of these TV shows. But basically,
But yeah, it's
what this allows you to
been
do is
dev
get
for
some
a very
skills
long
very
time.
early on.
and they do
if the right
weekly
program is playing.
news
Yeah,
about
see,
like
as you
their
see, we're
development
getting
in
carpentry
insane
level
detail.
12. I mean, not level 12. XP right now. Just make sure you're on the Life and Living TV channel.
Yeah,
Sadly,
I'm
we
waiting
don't
for
have a
the
clock, so we
big
can't
multiplayer
exactly gauge
update.
what time
So
this is.
this
Yeah.
graphic
But it's always good
update
just to keep
version
them on
that's
when you're
here
looting through homes in
is
general,
working with
because it is going to be
multiplayer.
very
And as
nice
soon
to
as that's
level
in
up
place,
very quickly.
as I said, I'm gonna buy a
Yeah,
bunch of
I will
people
keep
copies.
all of the timestamps for
Yeah,
each
I
TV
would be
show for
interested
each
in
day
trying it.
in the description. That'll
Mm.
take up quite
I
a bit of a
make no
chunk, but hopefully it'll
guarantees
help
on
people.
how much I'm gonna
Okay.
be able to be into
So
it.
that seems like it's going to
Mhm.
be it
But
for
I
now.
will
I've played with
definitely
it
And
with
as
a
you see,
controller
that
though.
immediately
I would
increased our
definitely
copyright
give
level
you
to level 1.
a solid
Okay.
try of the game.
We're just going to leave
Yeah,
that running.
you,
We're going to make sure it's
you're
actually
doing
at
that.
a small volume as well. We're
Yeah, let me
But like,
show
I
you
don't.
another video with.
This type of game has never been my. I don't like. I'm not a big third person in the first place, just because it's
Hello,
not as immersive.
notoriously the most difficult start
um,
in Project Zomboid. The CDDA challenge features you.
I'll pause it. Sorry, he's got a very
No,
distracting
you're
voice.
good. No, and it's not even just that. I mean, it's the whole thing. This man's naked in front of a house that's on fire.
This
But
is
just-
one of the super hard challenges. Go ahead.
Gotcha. But yeah, just the whole nature of trying to keep a bunch of shit in your head at once to be able to function
Mhm.
is definitely not something I go for if it's not heavily immersive in the way that it is. This game looks like it could be, which is why I'm very much interested in the idea of like I would give it a try. But like if it doesn't like if it's too much, like if it's like literally there's just too many things that you need to worry about, that'll probably end up turning me off to it.
Well,
But, like-
that's the great thing about the game is I'm gonna run a server off my second computer, my streaming PC. That's not really a streaming PC until I get a capture card and a few other things. But
Yeah.
um,
Streaming PC that can't stream.
it's a great PC. It just
Yep. Just not
Missing the capture
capable
card.
of what it's supposed to be doing.
oh, it can actually. I have a little trick for that. I'll tell you a bit later.
Oh, fair enough.
But anyways, I have access to every single option in the game, and I think there's like
How do you get access to those things? Do you have to pay for it, or do you have to earn it?
no. So
Or do you just have
Here.
it?
on Steam,
Oh, it's a zero
um,
to hero challenge. That's funny. Okay.
yeah. On Steam, when you buy the game,
Let's watch one of these
it
for the-
gives you the dedicated server file as well.
Okay.
But there's also a way to get the server files if you don't own the game through a program called Steam Command, CMD, like command prompt.
I heard about that for fixing something about the way one of my games loaded.
It's a lot more complicated than
Yeah.
It's
No, yeah,
insane.
like I know nothing about it. Like that's my only experience in even
Yeah.
a reference to that.
If you use it improperly, you can actually get hacked. So I'd be
Mhm.
very careful with it. But yeah, basically
I
it
have
lets you
literally
call from.
zero intention of using it, so.
To paraphrase what it does, it allows you to call on the like Steam servers directly instead of going through like your store page or whatever.
Okay.
And if you know like the exact number that they profile a game with, which is usually like a
okay.
5-digit number or a 6-digit number or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So you're
You'll
literally
type in,
like you're using essentially like a URL to like access a page that wouldn't normally there's no button you can click on that takes you to that page,
Yeah, it'll let you download every single game on the Steam library, but it won't let you launch unless you have a credential file for it.
Yeah.
But dedicated server files like this typically don't require it, so you can just boot it up and run it as a bat file, and it just runs on that system.
Gotcha.
So what I basically do is tell the game is like, okay, or Steam command is like install to directory wherever on my computer, and then the number of the game being like if ARC or whatever was
Mhm.
like 92700,
Okay.
and then it would go into the system, find that game under that number, and then
Mhm.
install it into the directory I told it to. And then I just open up that folder, run the file that's there, or open up the config file for the server and change every little setting that's there. But with Project Zomboid, I can actually just make a server file in-game because it has in-game hosting for multiplayer,
Okay.
or it's going to.
Okay.
And then you can just copy and paste the server file into the dedicated server, and it just works.
That's kind of
But-
crazy.
But yeah, there's
It's kind of crazy that just like kind of like a
Mhm.
workaround for a different part of it.
Yeah.
Let's can we watch that Zero to Hero?
Yeah,
I'm
just
like
pulling
legitimately
this up,
interested
so
in seeing what like a high level version of doing this would look like.
Yeah, I'm just pulling that up so I don't forget about it.
Trapped in an inferno, our character is Gerald Williams. He is nude. His stats are
He's
garbage,
nude.
underweight, weak, slow reader, and out of shape. We begin with a character bleeding, wet, a runny nose, in pain, and almost completely blackout drunk. This is a man who has fallen out of the shower with glass shards in his crotch. He has no protection. Everything else is worthless. It's my job to get Gerald out of this mess and hopefully up to speed. We will need to first get the glass shards out of my crotch. That's probably the most urgent.
I'm gonna
I found
turn it
these
up a little
sheets.
bit.
I'm gonna rip them, and then we can literally grab with our hand the glass shards out of my crotch. Sneezing doesn't make anything better. Bandages do. Now bandaged, we can continue on our spiritual journey throughout the house, ripping off more sheets and taking everything. Taking everything is going to be the name of the ball game here. We're going to open the door, and there's fire now. All right, now, starter house is no longer an option. My one regret is that we won't have shoes from this endeavor. But let's just find out if this zombie is going to perish before we... Okay, let's see. Are you gonna... Nope. Yeah, we are completely screwed then here. I don't want to be bleeding from the feet, so we're just gonna see if we can get over to the next house. Now, making our way over, the fire has begun to spread. We're going to the second... Yes, the second house now. If we can find some shoes, that would be a real godsend here, but it's not gonna be an easy road. There should be one zombie in here whom I'm going to try to smash to death with my bare feet. Not great, but it will
Not
give us
great.
some shoes. Shoes are an utter necessity. We can't get by without them. We're also going to wear his polo neck sweater. We'll wear that. And his pants will wear those, and his tank top will wear those as well. Our character is generally ass, but our life just got a lot better because we got clothes. All right, now there is a chance I will survive in the long term, so I'm going to start to walk away. This is about as fast as I can walk. Like I said, a very
Start to
bad
walk
challenge
away.
in general. I'm going to go ahead and rip more of these sheets. Rip the sheets. Okay, now we have more bandages. Great. Our health is still dwindling, though. Likely because of the dirty bandage. Our lives still aren't good by any means. We got to get to a medical center so that we can patch up a little bit more from here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to find some space to think around here. Okay, now suddenly rebandage. My life just got a lot better. Of course there are hordes of undead coming in from all sides, but we do have clothes. Clothes are a positive. Okay, now that we finally have time and space to think, we can get somewhere safe. So
course
using
he's sneezing, just
protection,
calling
we make our
everything in
way
the
down the
area.
road. That woman has a katana lodged in her chest. That would have been nice. But are we gonna... Good, we're gonna get out of there. There's gonna be a lot of close shaves like this in the first 10 minutes or so. Again, not really the ideal start to Project Zomboid. You want to be stealthy.
You gotta
ideally.
love
not
when,
really a stealthy
like,
start.
You're
Finally,
with
we've
the
made it.
AI, you know? Like, you just know the AI well enough to be like,
Yeah.
this is what
Beep,
I can and
beep.
cannot do. He's,
Yep.
like, literally in these people's hands.
Yep.
He's like,
To the
no,
edge of town. Now drawing in a train of hundreds of zombies, we can make our way out of this hellhole and to, yes, that's right, the main road. Here we are. Wonderful, isn't it? Wonderful. And where to
Bill
next?
Copy
Where
is
to
amazing.
next? We're going
Is the map
into
the
the
same?
woods. That's going to be
Yeah,
the
it's
only
massive.
safe
Okay.
place for miles
There's mod
around.
maps, though.
Here, literally nothing is safe. We've made it out of civilization with the deadly virus, but at least I'm safe inside my mind. And back to my favorite log business. Ah, logging. How I missed you. The constant gnawing feeling that I'm about to die. I've not even backed up my saves because I want to be more immersed in the game. Now that we actually have some space and time to quiet ourselves, although there are still many zombies around, I'm gonna go ahead and examine my situation. Currently, the most deadly thing is just the fact that I'm hypothermic. If I stay out here too long without anything on me, I will die of cold. It's improving, but improving from hypothermic isn't really a great place to be. We just got rid of our drunkenness. That's now gone. But we have now replaced that with high exertion. We can barely jog. So We're going to go head on down this road and hopefully arrive at some sort of safety, but we're going to need a sewing needle if we want to patch up this deep wound in my crotch and then live to tell the tale. Don't forget, our character is still ass. He is no good at anything. We're going to need to do a lot of, where is it now? I got to X out of this menu. Exercise. Exercise will be our friend, but we won't do it until we get somewhere safe. Now then, look here. We have made it to the first place. Great to be here. Not for long. There's going to be more shit we have to deal with. And it looks like they've actually seen me at this location. That's a good thing. We're going to allow them to just... fuck. There's literally nothing is available to this character. He has even... I think he can fight one zombie at a time. I think. Yep, I just got to the maximum level of slow. Here we go. This is the fastest I can walk. As mentioned, I am a heaping pile of garbage. And so we'll just walk our way over here. Playing the game like a point and click. And then we'll walk over here. Just walk, walk, walk. And go inside. Great. Now we can get a glass of water. Hard-earned water. Wonderful. Now we might survive. A pen, of all things. Great. Just what I needed. And absolutely nothing is anywhere. Okay, let's take a moment to examine our character. We did
It's a
manage to
great
find
phrase
a lot
right there.
of warm
Absolutely
clothing,
nothing
which was
is anywhere.
really the only thing saving us here. Our character is still horribly sick. He has a nasty cold. We're no longer wet. We do have excessive exertion, though. We can rest to cure that. He's uncomfortable. I would be. And in minor pain. He's also freezing, but he's aided by the fact that he's indoors. So we're going to look around and see if we can find a car. If we can't find that, we're just going to proceed over to McCoy Lumber, which is the only safe place. Now, our wound has been infected, making our life a little bit more difficult. It's time to sleep. A quick search through the contents of these crates yields absolutely nothing. And this is going to lead us to another day of just hobbling around, being sick and wounded and infected on our way to McCoy. Now, after an engaging night of sitting on the ground and washing myself, I'm going to proceed to McCoy. As long as we don't encounter any zombies along the way, or too many on at the entrance, we should be able to secure a few supplies there. I'm gonna walk through the woods here, and we'll just speed up. Okay, there is one there, and another one behind me too that I didn't notice.
You can speed up the game.
I think
in
we're just
single
gonna use
player?
our.
Yeah, in single player, if you look at the
I
top
thought he
right,
was editing the video. Okay.
No, okay, so you can right click and then choose walk to this location,
Ah.
and then just hit the speed up time button, and you
Mhm.
basically just teleport
Which
there.
is why as soon
It-
as the zombie pops up, he's like, fuck, and then undoes the fast forward.
Yeah, and then goes back into manual control of the
Yep.
character.
Okay.
Uh,
okay.
So another
Good,
thing
you're
about
running.
the game,
Mm-hmm.
time in the server,
Mhm.
I can make the daytime be either an hour or actually I can bring it down to like 30 minutes for a whole like day to process, like pass in the
Okay.
game. Or I can set it to real time
Nice.
or anything in between.
Okay, so
So-
max is 24 hours for a day to go by.
Yeah,
and then
I can
minimum
set it
is
to
30.
Yeah, it's 3:24 a.m. I could set the server when I'm like starting it up to be like, oh, the
Mhm.
first day is the exact day that we are that day, and the exact time that I plan to hit start on the server, open it up, and then just leave it running, and it will stay in sync with the real world.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like midnight, it'll be midnight in game.
So my question is, and I think you probably already answered this at some point, but I don't remember the answer, which is this game persistent in terms of your character? Like your character, like what happens when you log off the game?
So in single player, it just pauses. When you're in a
Okay.
multiplayer server, though, you vanish.
Okay,
Um,
so this isn't like you're gonna die if you didn't put your guy in a significantly secure position before you log
No,
off
no.
the game.
No.
Okay.
But you are going to die. You are going to die a lot and over and over.
Well, yeah,
This is-
yeah. No, I assume that. This
Yeah.
type of game, I'd probably die just by not realizing that I didn't do something.
Yeah,
Just like
I've-
100 times. There's so
Setting
many
the
different
game
little
to
things that could kill me.
basically easy mode, like
I'm not even
The
trying to
Walking
do that.
Dead
No, no, no,
settings?
no, no.
no,
This
like
is...
not like easy mode, like there's no zombies and all that.
Is
It's
there
basically
attacking the zombies? Is that a part of the thing? Like, can you
with
once you
weapons and
build
stuff.
once you build yourself up and you've gotten to the point where you've got like a
Yeah.
base and you've got like food and like a farm and so on and so, like, like you've got all the shit built up, you can actually go fuck zombies up, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright, so
There's
here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm
explosives,
saying.
there's traps, there's alarms.
What we
there's-
do is we do Walking Dead style shit, right? To start off
Mhm.
with the whole permadeath type of shit, where it's, or not necessarily permadeath, because we could make it not like that, and that'd be a lot better. But
Well, if you die, you have to make a new character. That's just the way it's
that's
made.
just the way it works anyway. So it's just
Yeah.
permadeath anyway. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah. So we get, you can make it so that it's like slow zombies, easy zombies for the whole first bit while we learn how to build a base and how to build everything, like what to do right off the bat, and then we reset it and we
Yeah,
fucking do
I
it
can even
with
program
like
it to ramp up in difficulty over time.
that would also be interesting. But like this
Like,
is
I-
my thing is like I think that the difference mainly would be the difference in the zombies themselves, because you were saying
Yeah.
that you got all these options in terms of like which types of zombies you're dealing with, and like at the end of the day it really does make a huge difference in what you're capable of doing if you're working against slow walkers like this shit versus like, fucking some I Am Legend type shit where they're
Yeah.
like, fucking yeeting themselves around. And so then like the whole concept of they only come out at night and all that kind of stuff would be interesting to try, but I think it would be a lot less limiting than we would like, because it wouldn't be hard enough, Like,
yeah, currently they're
you just don't get
slow
on at
and
night?
not as strong as at day or at night. You can choose which feature, but you can also have like the night settings where they're insanely strong, insanely fast.
well, this is what I was gonna
insanely
say.
Crazy fight.
This is what I was gonna say is fucking God, what's the name of the game? This entire time I've been trying to come up with the name.
Dying
of the
Light?
game. Yes, Dying Light. Thank you. The nighttime where it's like you're talking about fucking walkers during the day. Like
Mhm.
if you're intelligent about it, they're like legitimately no harm, as
Mhm.
long as you're not stupid. So like they're really easy to distract. They're really easy to deal with. Blah blah blah. But then nighttime rolls around, and it's like, okay, those guys are still around, but they're just as annoying as they normally are, and there's these other fuckers out here that are not like them, and they
Mhm.
will fuck you up.
Yep.
But like the thing is like if we can make it in a way where they will fuck you up is really only like you have to be able to be equipped to deal with them type of thing,
Mhm.
then it would be super dope to be able to do it in that way. But what I would really be interested in is whether or not there's a way to fix a spawn for them in the world,
Yeah.
or like if they have fixed spawns in the world, like places where they come out of, because the whole idea where there's like they're more centralized in certain places than others is definitely much more what I think would be the ideal way, where it's like, oh, we can't go mine in that area because it's right next to a fucking zombie. And the fuck is that?
Those are zombies.
Those are zombies. You're shitting me, dude. Yeah, you know what that reminds me of? Fucking what's the game where you can put all this stupid shit together, and make it into all these crazy weapons and stuff?
Hmm.
Oh my god, you could drive the car through them, but then you can't.
Yeah, no, you get stuck on the bodies and shit like that.
Yeah, and then this other car's in the way.
I just figured I'd give you a quick little glimpse of the
Yeah,
horde.
no, for sure. But this is what I'm saying is it's like the there's two ways to make the AI hard in a way that's enjoyable for like a survival-esque type thing that I can think of. And these are
Mhm.
obviously not the two definitive ways, because like I said, I don't play survival games.
Yeah.
But like if I were to try to think of the ones that I think would be the way I would want to go, it would definitely be where like, there's some way to take advantage of them, but then there's also a way where they take advantage of you.
Yeah.
So then you have to like play against that back and forth. Like you have to actually like do your shit right, because then this whole status effects and all this other stuff plays such a huge part, because it's like, oh good, it's daytime, let's go do shit, except these two assholes decided that they were gonna go do this thing, and they got these cuts that got infected, and now they're fucked. You know, like they can't do anything all day, and so it's like we gotta just make do with like the two people we got, and like fucking figure out and blah blah blah. You know, so on and so forth.
Yep, I've had that happen before. Me and my buddy Nunga played over remote play, where I played with a controller. I learned the weird, funky, buggy, incomplete controller setup.
Okay.
Because it's a split screen system.
Oh,
it was never really
okay.
finished.
Yeah.
And the
yeah.
controller programming side wasn't fully finished before they came out with the new graphics engine, but it still kind of worked.
Okay.
Anyways, he got injured and was basically stuck because his legs were fucked up. We couldn't go anywhere. We were stuck in our base. So I'd been collecting like books and stuff for learning how to do certain skills. So I basically spent like 3 days in game, indoors with him doing med, fixing up his legs. And when he wasn't resting or whatever, I was just reading a book, just waiting for whatever, and he'd go cook a meal, and we'd literally split it because you
Nice.
can.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's
For a moment to
yeah,
avoid
okay.
this.
Shall we
That's just-
continue?
Yeah, no, we should definitely continue. I'm just kind of there is a lot more to this than
Oh,
I
yeah.
originally thought, even though originally I thought there was a shit ton to this.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like it's definitely I'm thinking now less about like the individual features and more about how they interplay with each other. And so there's
like-
there's a lot to this. Yeah.
You ever heard that expression, puddle is not very deep, but it's a mile wide?
No, but I get it. That makes sense.
Well, this puddle is about 5 inches wide and about a mile deep.
Yeah. The other way around. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna run the video.
yeah,
The dogs
go
want
for it.
out, so I'm gonna deal with
Yeah.
them. Let you watch this, and I'll be right back.
Fair enough.
Situation. Unless if they have anything lodged in them. This one actually does have something lodged in him, so we'll fight them here. I think we could fight 2. I wouldn't try to do any more than that. If another one comes along, I'm running away. Yeah. Here we go. Very difficult fight. Very difficult fight. Arduous as hell against the zombies. Great, we got one, and the last one has some sort of hand fork lodged in his thigh. Wonderful. We can equip that. Not an amazing find, but it's better than nothing. And what of these pants? These pants are in great condition. I'll wear them. Fantastic. Great. This one also has some sort of knife lodged in him. We can use that as another weapon. The world keeps treating us better. Here we go. Our lives are getting so much better now. There, nice, great. An actual hunting knife. That's fantastic. We can grab that, and once we find a belt, we can attach it to it. We can also wear these jeans, which are slightly better condition, if ripped. Another one. Now, even if our lives aren't necessarily amazing yet, we've found enough to get by for the first bit. I'm confident we're gonna survive like 4 days. I'm gonna wear this jacket too. A long skirt might not necessarily fit me, but all right. You know, we're gonna grab these shoes as well. They offer better protection, although they don't give us as fast movement as our sneakers. I'll leave on the sneakers for now. Now, cars here are gonna be a big if, but if we could find one working, that's gonna save our lives for a good long time. A lug wrench is a great early find. Now this cockroach will make me very unhappy, but it will feed me, so I'm gonna just go ahead and eat it. Great. Fun. Lots of protein. Now, this car, as it turns out, has a key right down here. Let's see if the thing has any gas, though, which I highly doubt, but it is possible. Nope, and it also appears as if the battery is dead. I'm leaving. But not without this plastic bag. We can destroy the window of the car and get inside. Now, our lives aren't great, but they've gotten so much better than when we began. For one thing, we're no longer naked. We also have this knife and this plastic bag. We go all the way along this nice dirt path to get to what will hopefully be salvation here at the McCoy Lumber Mill, my favorite early spawn area. It features great food, technology, transportation, crime, and more undead, which, in the absence of other undead, can be quickly dispatched here. In fact, it's gonna warrant a putting down of my plastic, but let's put this down. All right, we've got a few here. I'm gonna take care of these ones. Just knock one to the ground and try to... That's not safe, not very safe at all, but Okay, may have bitten off more than I can chew. I'm gonna need to negotiate this. And we'll do my next favorite thing by seeing if we can lock these ones in this shed. Right, let's just get one in here, and now, bingo, and there it is. There it is. The pro zombie killing move. Great fun. I'm jumping out the window. I was going to say I'm humping out the window, but that wouldn't have been appropriate. Here we go. Another bites. Yes, the nuts. A great technique of espionage. And now just finishing off the last few. I think I have gotten better at this game. We'll just remove the last of their items, wear their socks, and take out the last few. Now, having killed a few of them, I'm more of a threat than before. We'll use similar techniques to clear out the rest of this warehouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that actually appears to be it in the entire warehouse. Just gonna check these last few stalls, and it would appear as if we're actually safe. And when I say safe, I mean infected and bleeding to death, possibly. I still have a deep wound that's infected, and I'm gonna need a needle to take care of. Now, with all of that stuff out of the way, it's time to do some old-fashioned looting. These crates can all be moved, and they contain a lot of supplies that I'll need. Nails, hammers, weapons, and other crafting survival supplies, but unfortunately there just aren't that many of them here. We did get a little bit luckier, it appears, over here, but not by much. We found only some adhesive bandages in these sinks. We did, however, find a tissue which can mute our sneezes and coughs for the next stage, and so after a short rest we can go. Now, before nightfall hits, I do want to hit the next part of this and see if we can find some thread and a needle. Probably even more valuable than a car right now, at least in the short term. So equipping our tissue, we should be able to quietly get in here and see if we can find any of these valuable medical supplies. Matches, useful, but not exactly what we need. Toolbox. We can definitely use that, at least for storage. And no dice on these lockers. Things are starting to get a little bit crowded here, so I'm gonna run out. It's just not worth it. There's too many in there to fight at once. Now, whenever you're playing PZ, it's good to characterize your needs as either short-term or long-term. Right now, I definitely need sleep and a rest. I may be very hungry, but I actually do have a good amount of meat on my bones. I have 60 kilograms. Even though that it's dropping, that can wait. I can
Kiting
starve for a
skills are
little bit
massive on
longer
this
here.
guy.
I'm bound to find something like a trowel that could get me worms to feed myself later on in this mill.
You
But
used
right
to
now, I
building
think we'd
this
better
to,
rest before we take on the other
break off
zombies
into
in that next
1v1s.
room. I don't want to die, and I'm going to need a new
Yeah,
day's
you gotta think
strength
smart
before
in
I
this
get
game.
started
You don't
over
want to
there.
take on a big
So
group.
after resting the night in this one warehouse, we wake up in the pitch black. And
There's also a new feature that just got added to the game a little after this was recorded. If 3 or more zombies are near you, they can grab you, pull you to the ground, and insta-kill you.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds
although
about
I'm
right.
wary of doing any fighting at this time, I'm definitely going to search these cars to see if I can get lucky on one of them. And this first car has no key, so no dice here. But it does have a tissue we can use to muffle our sneezes. And although it's a fossil truck, I spot no gas in it. No real luck with the other cars, no keys, no gas, no batteries. At least until we can hotwire the cars. And though I don't love doing it at night, I think it is safe to clear out a few of them here, at least in the moonlight. So I'll just fight. 1, broken window. We can shout. Another. 2. And now shouting out in the hallways, we actually get the last few out of this compound. 2 at a time. I can probably fight this many, but no more. 3. And that's the last of them. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. 1 more. Yeah, that's it.
Oh shit.
Oh, 1 had a
Bam.
spear lodged in, which would be a great item. A holster. We can wear that. And police deputy clothing, but it's in horrible condition, so we won't use it. They actually knocked the hat right off of me. But still, I'm unscathed. All I have is my dirty bandage.
It's
Now we can
fucking
go in and
great.
see if we can find any actual thread. Now we found the foreman. He has a lot of good gear we could use. Screwdriver, formal shirt, foreman vest. Yeah, this guy is loaded up. And we'll take his hard hat instead of our current cap. Another. And that actually leads us over to the crates. A wood axe. Now before I start tearing apart all of these crates, I'm gonna have a look at the last few in one more of the warehouses. And if I can't find a needle and thread there, then I'm gonna have to start tearing things up. The final warehouse might have the supplies I'm looking for. And it definitely has the zombies to boot. 1, 3 over here. More than I can handle. A sledgehammer. 1. There are characters holding up pretty well for all of this. I'm surprised he hasn't been so fatigued yet. Now we're sort of in trouble. We managed to gather a train. Just taking them out one by one, separating by doors. And now we're just attempting to put as many walls between them and us. We can use these windows to our advantage and get them as they come in one by one. There, one took me down actually right there. Another. And I think that's about as close as we're gonna be to safe. Yeah. The day is won. And now to see if we have any spoils from this. Radish seeds. Not exactly what I needed, but it is food. Tow ropes for cars, we'll need that. A saw for dismantling things. And a needle. Finally, I needed that. I really needed that. I still don't know if I would call our situation good. We still have a deep wound that's infected. We do have a needle. We're still going to need some thread. But our life isn't in danger for a little while. And potato seeds packets. We definitely need those. Cabbage seeds. And that's actually all that we have at McCoy. There's a few other supplies here, but no thread to speak of with which to sew up my wounds. I'm not in great shape, but I'll get by. One fear is just the fact that I don't have any food. Nor do I have a trowel with which to dig furrows. So although this was a decent early place to go, I just didn't find what I thought I would, so I'm gonna have to dismantle things here. By the time I'm done with it, this warehouse will look like a shell of its current self, and I'll probably be very underweight. I'm just gonna pick up these corpses, put a chair in here to sleep in, and now we disassemble everything. And we do find a welder mask, but unfortunately still no thread. Well, practically a whole day spent disassembling crates and still nothing. It doesn't seem as if there's any thread in here. I've
Day
checked almost
72,
all of them,
I've
and I think we'll have to check a few more warehouses, but I'm just
crates and I
gonna
haven't
get this done
found
on
any
time.
thread.
On the plus side, we did find a trowel, which is pretty... Holy shit. Yep, we got a horde movement. That's gonna be,
Oh yeah, so in the server,
Uh-huh.
every single zombie is calculated and it tracks where players are, and there's a quote unquote sadist AI system.
Mm.
So every once in a while it'll just move zombies around the world to fuck with you. And as you get later into the game, those groups of zombies that are getting moved can get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Nice.
To the point where you're in like 2 or 3 years plus that you have mega hordes just rolling through.
Nice. That's actually
reason
pretty cool as a mechanic though, just for the idea that like if you do your job right,
Mhm.
then the building is on both sides. The scaling is on both sides. You're scaling your characters up and their capabilities up as well as these hordes. So you're
Yeah.
either keeping match or you can even take advantage of getting ahead of them and then focusing on something more non-defensive like food or
Yeah.
shelter or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like Civ.
Yeah, kind of. One of the ways I kind of play the game is I don't really think of as like my character all the time as like, oh, this is my character. Once they die, it's like new game. You
Mhm.
once they die, you can continue in that world and make a new character, and the time that's progressed since the start of the world, is still in
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So
So you're,
You
the only
can just-
real downside is the lack of stats.
yeah, and you'll spawn in a random place in whatever town that you chose.
But
on
if
the
you
map.
built up a place, you can still go to that
You can just go
place.
back to it, and you can even find your old self depending on your settings. Either if you died of natural causes and didn't get
Nice.
infected, you're just a corpse in the ground, or if you did get infected, you're actually a zombie walking around with all your
Nice.
stuff still.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
turn my back more. Well, we did manage to find a trowel, which
But yeah,
is pretty
think
much
of it as
free
just
food
like
for the
you
rest of the
building
game.
your
It doesn't mean
base
that we'll
and-
be able to gain weight. We'll still need
It's
to
very
plant
permanent.
cabbages
Yeah,
and
the
potatoes
base
for
itself
that,
is more
but
permanent than your character.
on the other hand, we
Mhm.
will survive, probably. That, and we found a wood axe. Plenty more of stuff we need. See, well, we are in half-decent shape to get started.
Excuse me.
Plus, we have gained carpentry skill now. We're much better at that, which is always a good thing. The trowel was actually extremely urgent. I'm going to have to
do me a
dig some
favor,
furrows
pause this
and
up
dig
real
up some
quick. I'm
worms.
gonna go heat up some pizza, and I'll be right back. All right?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna try and find a lighter because mine apparently died, or someone tried to pick me.
That sucks.
So.
That sucks.
Back in a minute.
Grubber.
What's up, Jay?
I was
How are y'all
actually.
doing? Are you playing Project Zomboid?
I'm selling them on it. I'm waiting for
I already
multiplayer to
have
come
it.
out, and then I'm gonna get a bunch of people copies and run a server off of my computer.
Oh, I already have it. Well, fuck.
Well, multiplayer's not running yet for
I
the
didn't
new
know that.
build.
I thought it was.
Well, multiplayer's in place for the old 2D build, but
Mm.
not the new 3D build. That's probably still another like 6 months away.
Mm.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hello. It's me.
Oh, since Chicken's here,
Hello.
Hello.
cameras all over the place.
Saw y'all in here, so I figured popping in.
Isn't that how it's supposed to work?
Pretty much.
I figure that's kind of the point of having a Discord.
But yeah, we were talking about server settings before.
Oh,
I
shit.
pulled up a list of all the stuff that's here that I'll be able to have like control of. So there's a basic normal settings that most servers would have, like your ping limit, how fast you want the server to respond. So instead of like every 10 milliseconds, I can set it to every like millisecond or however fast my system can respond in a millisecond. Ping limit, so if anyone goes over a certain limit, I can kick them, have it a public or private server. It's going to be a private server. How often items spawn places, if they do respawn, if you get deleted off of the whitelist if you die. This is a really interesting setting. So basically you can have it so it's a one life server. You come in, you play, you die, you're never coming back.
Hmm.
Or
You
do
as
it
a
like I
person
did.
are dead.
Yeah, you didn't survive. Come back tomorrow when we reset it. So that's kind of an option you can do. Preventing construction, fires, weather, player safe houses. So like you can set up a specific place in the server to be your base. And if you're offline,
yeah.
players can't enter it or can enter it, can set it on fire or can't. A whole bunch of different settings like that. There is voice over IP, so like it's actually like location based, like what Tarkov's going to be working on in the future. So like if you speak, it's actually distance based and will actually attract zombies and shit. A whole bunch of settings like that, and then you start getting into the sandbox settings. So speed is like time of day, the zombie count, which is a modifier count from 1 to 4. It's hard to describe how many zombies there are from that point. How long you want your day length to be. I've told you I can set that from 1 hour or 30 minutes to 24 hours. So it's a 1-to-1 time and day system, like with the real world. When it starts, what year it is, how often food respawns, and the abundance of like all those types of items like weapons, garbage loot like shirts and CD players, garbage like that. The temperature, how often it rains, how advanced the erosion system is. So as you play through the game, the world will actually overgrow and the streets will start cracking and grass will grow through it and vines will grow up houses and start breaking stuff. And
So set that to as quickly as physically possible, right?
you
So
can,
that
or you can set
everything
it.
just gets fucking terraformed immediately.
Yeah, I've actually had that. I was 2 years into a game and I actually had to keep cutting a section of a forest down to keep my path to my pond where I went fishing, just because so much was growing over that time period. And I was doing like a 2-hour day and skipping days to just do training. XP multipliers, so how fast you level. Stat decreases from not having food or being under certain conditions or around certain effects like blood and gore if your character gets affected from it.
how often houses have alarms or locked, the speed of food rotting, when power turns off, when the water turns off. If you start with a loot respawn kit, a whole bunch of stuff like that. And then get into some of the zombie lore, which is like transmission. You can make it blood and saliva. Everyone's infected or no transmission. The mortality from infection, if it's instant, 1 to 2 weeks, a month, or like right away.
Wow.
How smart zombies are, if they can navigate doors and use windows, or just have like basic cognition to be able to walk around and bump into stuff. Their
Neat.
memory for how long they can, well, know you're somewhere, how fast they decompose, their sight, their hearing, their smell. And yeah, and then you can go into crazy other things like population multipliers, when the population starts to grow and when it peaks, how many days in and what multiplier it hits on the peak day, how often zombies respawn. Even if you don't want them to respawn, you can turn that off. So there's a limited number of zombies in the world. I can just go, okay, there's 5 million zombies in this server. Once they're all dead, they're all dead. You guys have won. We can literally do that if we
Yeah.
wanted. Let's see. This is even crazier. I can control if they group up, how big the groups can be, how far they will travel, how wide of a group they will spread out to try and make, and how far they will go to just wander.
Oh wow.
So I can just make it so that after a while, just mega hordes are just wandering around. So we'll actually have to do tactics like, oh, we want to go and like loot the town or whatever. Okay, someone's gonna have to like drive through town with a horn blaring, get them all out to the forest, and then dip through the forest and like flank around town and meet us somewhere. And that'll literally get every zombie out of the area. So yeah,
Sounds like a blast.
there's tons of stuff, and we can make it any way that we want. And the map is absolutely huge. So in game, this is where like the guy's playing. I think he's in like this house or one of these houses.
Okay.
But anyways, he's in the video went up to this logging area. Should look familiar. And yeah, that's just one town. You can go through all these forests once it renders. Well, some of it's forest, some of it's field. There is super dense forest in some areas.
Word.
And as I said, there's the erosion system. So more trees will actually pop up from like bushes. It's like a flower will turn into a bush over time, and then into a small tree, and then into a big tree.
Huh.
And it just keeps going from there. And then they actually spread to the surrounding area. So if you don't like trim down all the bushes, you will eventually lose your path. But you can also dig out all the road here so nothing can grow there, and put gravel or cement down or just wood platforms if you really wanted to. It's so advanced. And yeah, the world is pretty massive, and that's just one of the maps.
Wait, is this a server that you're making?
Well, this is going to be the Project Zomboid server. This is the whole map.
Wait, I thought you were. Wait, so what is this exactly that you're looking at?
This is the whole. This is Nox Country. This is the map of Project Zomboid. So when you spawn into Project Zomboid and you pick a city or whatever, you're actually picking one of the major locations, like this town over here, or your Muldrow, which is the major town most people start in, or there's like a fishing military town that's got like shopping centers. I'll just show all 5 stories. So it'll have like full buildings and stuff you can go into. Like there's even like a full fucking mall on this in this game. So like you can go into the mall and loot around, build a base in the fucking mall if you wanted. So, yeah. This is just a map that shows you that world. But yeah, there's other people working on other maps, like little survival islands.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what people do with just conceptually like map, because it's so important, like what you have to offer to you as resources and where you go and what you're gonna need to do and all that kind of shit. So it's kind of crazy to think of all this kind of nonsense.
But yeah. And then there's community maps that people are working on. So this is like Bedford Malls. This is a player map. New Denver. Phoenix.
Have they already like so what?
The Walking
What
Dead
is
prison.
like I've watched this shit years ago, and then when I got it and picked it up, I realized it was like that build 41 or whatever, which was a 3D build. And I love how far they changed it, but honestly, I was wishing for co-op.
It's there if you play through remote play, but that's very latency dependent, and one player's stuck playing with a controller. So it's a little odd.
Ew, yeah.
I learned it, but most other people might not like it.
But
So,
once
shall
they
we-
once they do this adding, then that'll change that though, right?
The new multiplayer?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then we can all just play on our own system with keyboard and mouse.
Exactly. That'll be like an actual multiplayer system in the game.
Yeah, and like you can use the controller with the
Okay, so
combination
Tesla
keyboard
is
and
gonna
mouse.
become literally like Elon Musk is going to become evil science genius.
Oh yeah,
You're
and
an
Bezos is going to be
he's-
like his
he's-
rival.
He's planning to create humanoid bots.
He's also said that if he could, he would stick microchips in our brains.
No, actually, here's the thing. I had an evil genius thought, so I'm gonna go on a tangent here, because I'm just as
It's my
psychotic
tinfoil.
as he is. Okay. Because of my autism and shit like that, because I have Asperger's, I think really weirdly and logistically. But I sat there and I said, he has a good idea for the microchip in the brain, and here's the reason why. I said, and if it was used to the right example, let's say now you can be able to track neurons in your brain pathologically to understand where it fires off certain things, to understand how you learn subjects. So for people who can't learn subjects as quickly, unlike people like me in some ways can learn it faster, figure out the ways and the pathological ways to understand how that works, being able to map it differently to basically make humans their own AI and being able to make them understand and comprehend a lot more, and basically allowing them to use more than just 5% of their brain. Like, that is what a microchip could do. And like, so we could literally already have all of the history knowledge and everything that we already know and not have to worry about learning it. Like, it'll feed it to us like an AI, but we still are conscious. So there is no reason to override us because we're already still conscious beings.
I think we're more likely to modify genes within the next 200 years to connect more. Of
I
our
don't
brain
feel
together.
like AI should be a thing. I feel like we should make ourselves AIs. Because if you think about it in that sense, then technically we're not going to... It's more of like the android thing, but we're still humanistic. We're still going to die. We're still going to... You know, we still have the sense of moral understanding and what's considered literally humanistic or not, because we are human.
Yeah.
So if we're allowed to feed ourselves a shit ton of knowledge easily, just as fast as computers can be fed, then what stops us from being a type 1, type 2 civilization while still being able to procreate ourselves in a better way and also maybe increase life expectancies too?
Yeah.
Like, AIs are always going to be a downfall mechanically because they're not going to be able to live on their own. They have to have orders being taken.
Yeah, but
And even if you make a self-conscious AI that understands choices of what it makes and then chooses differently, it still doesn't understand what's immoral or inhumane. It never will.
unless we tell it.
But we have to give the order to tell it.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. So let's say humans were gone and robots are there, robots would die off in the sense of the fact that They can't survive without our own construct.
Say mastered recycling.
But they would have to understand how to basically read a human brain on their own and being able to take memories from it. So it's something that's so far off where you literally are going to be manipulating genes before you would end up manipulating AI into doing it first.
Well, I think, well, since we're on a derail train, I think
Exactly, right?
before-
Like
yeah,
a derail train.
before even going to AI, since we're so into like genetically modifying things, there was or has been a few instances of people who have actually had more of their brain interconnected, like all through. One of the big instances, the most famous one you guys have probably heard the name of, was Rain Man. There was even a movie about him. He had savant syndrome or something like that.
Yeah.
Insane genius, but mentally retarded to the most severe degree. They did tests after his death on his brain and cut him open, took a look, and found out that the parts of our brain where we have a connection, like right back in here, that just connects the two sides of our
Pretty
brains,
much at the cerebral cortex.
he had all the way connected. His whole brain was just 100% connected both sides. His creativity side was 100% connected to his other side of his brain, his
the
logic
cerebral
side.
cortex is basically that thing that has your left and right brain. He didn't have a left or right brain. He had a whole brain.
He still had a left and right brain that was, it's just they were merged.
Yeah.
They were able to
So-
talk to each other.
Yeah. Well, more so than ours
Well,
can.
the connections were a lot shorter, so it didn't take a lot for it to. Basically, that's the whole concept of neuroscience.
And then the neuroscience also discovered if you completely sever that connection, both sides of the brain still communicate.
Yes.
That's the most fucked up part, and they don't know about it. The logic side doesn't know the creative side is doing something. The creative side doesn't know the logic side is doing.
When
they
you
did a
cut
bunch of
that
tests.
out, right?
Yeah, a guy had to get some kind
Well-
of things separated in his brain, and they did tests afterwards. And
Well, yeah,
they were doing like
because-
two-handed writing, and they'd ask like a logic question. In one hand, he'd be able to do a math question, and then to write up a concept or create like an image in his head, he couldn't do it. But then he just started drawing the image on a piece of paper.
Right.
It was really weird.
So what's interesting though about neuroscience as well is one of my cousins or something like husband had frontal lobe surgery, so he had the part of the frontal lobe part of his brain taken out.
Mm.
So he actually, when you get into an argument with him, he won't stop. He has no, it's not the whole fight or flight or knowing when to quit. Like he doesn't have that neuron in his brain to fire saying, "Hey, this is not okay. Stop." So it's just an ever-loving feud. That's why he uses marijuana as well, is to help him basically calm back down.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing, and it's like learning about neuroscience is fucking insane. I think it's cool. I think it's absolutely like fucking ridiculously cool.
Yeah, it's fucked up. We should go back to the Project Zomboid thing now.
Yeah, but-
Yeah.
Should we finish this?
Yeah, I'm down.
If I want to
What are you
survive
watching?
here. My health is
Uh,
falling away because I'm getting hunger pangs now.
name.
Yeah, we're just gonna start digging
Ambiguous
furrows in the ground
Amphibian.
until we manage to find
He's
a
a
worm.
Twitch streamer, but
we
he
are
also makes
dying. There
Project
we go. A
Zomboid
worm,
content.
great, just like the olden days, fresh, farm raised. And another. Okay, we're no longer starving. We're just very hungry. So our health isn't gonna fall away anymore. We'll live. We'll make it. And we just ripped up a bunch of clothing, and lo and behold, we did manage to get some thread out of the clothes we ripped up. I'm not quite sure what it was. I had suspected we might be able to do this, but it does appear as if we now have a needle and thread. So we can unbandage our wound, sew it up in the dark with no medical skill, and then actually not be about to die. Great, that's what this has been
Wait, his
all about
groin
anyway,
got fucking
after all.
sliced
So
open?
hooray for us.
Yep.
Hooray
Yeah, he
for us.
spawned
We can
with a
stitch
piece of
this up
glass
with the
in his
needle
groin-
and
in his
thread,
groin.
and now it's Stitch. We'll rebandage. And we're safe. We're still sick, and that's really the last.
Yeah, he started in a house that was on fire. He was
Naked.
plastered drunk, naked, with
With
glass
glass
in his
leg.
groin. In his groin.
What is dick?
Yeah, in his dick or his balls. What were some of the other things? He was like scared and a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, it was basically You start with every negative effect and a whole bunch of shitty traits, like you're underweight, you can't read, you're scared of the dark, you're
So is that like the
scared of
zero?
open
That's
space.
zero to hero challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
thing that's
crazy.
going to remain with us, and we're just weak as hell. But that's a life, you know, not a great life, but it is a life. Now, we've managed to avoid starvation and a lot of other perils. I'm just going to sit on the ground here for a minute. We won't die. We won't die, and we can actually stay here for quite a while. In theory, we might even be able to stay here forever. We lost a kilogram of weight, not great, but we won't start taking damage until we either don't have any food, which we should as long as we still have this trowel. You know, we're not going to die. We have taken care of really a lot of short-term and long-term needs. Obviously, it's not a great life situation. We sleep in a chair. I still have an infected crotch. I drink out of a water dispenser. Water would eventually become, you know, deadly if we can't find any renewable source of water. But we do have these potatoes and cabbages, and our life may get better. The main thing that's going to prevent us from going back to town is just the fact that there's such an ass load of zombies there. We need more strength and fitness if we want to get better, so we're going to need to do some working out next. So for lack of a better idea, I'm just going to start a fitness montage. We're going to do some burpees on the ground. Get ready. We're going to do 60 minutes worth of them. Even though that we don't have enough food to really recover from these burpees, we're going to do them anyway until we have some basic strength. And then after that, we're going to eat some worms. And then we're going to see if we can find some, like, potato chips and actual potatoes to eat that we plant in the ground. Once we do all of that, we will sleep for a few days and then maybe be passable in handling ourselves against zombies, because right now it's just a bit of a shit show, as you may have noticed when I went in to fight those last 10 or so. So I think we're going to end it there. Zero to hero character, he's...
So, yeah. So you notice how all the items are 2D still?
Well, yeah.
They just actually put out a video on their website. Every Thursday, they put out information about how they've been doing for development, shouting out special mods, talking about the new audio system that they're putting into place, and it sounds so crisp. But they were showing off the new
Hey!
3D items, and I think this hugely improves it, and it's also the new sound engine. So, as someone's already pre-built base bunch of items out to show like how
3D.
like set up you can have a place look, whereas previous it was just like a generic space and items were just a 2D picture that floated there.
Yep,
How
now
many
their
how
3D
many
picture
developers
just
work
floats
on this
there.
game? How many
Kind of, yeah.
devs are on this game?
10?
10? Not bad.
If not, there might be a few more. I know they have a bunch of volunteer testers and stuff.
Oh, yeah, watching the TV for skills. Hold on.
Oh, there's a new feature they're adding to the game.
So-
Well, you didn't know about the TVs initially, but
I know that he was talking about that one thing where life
Yeah, you can
literally
gain-
gives you carpentry skills.
yeah, and then you can get other skills from other channels at different times of the day. But they just added a new system in for videotapes, so you can actually find recordings of like movies or TV shows that were skill gaining
Gotcha.
episodes that you could have watched if you'd missed them.
So you can put it in the TV and watch it.
Yeah. And because eventually the TVs are going to turn off because there's no one alive in any of the stations or whatever. Or the emergency broadcast system's shut down, so you can't even get radio. Because there's a secret feature in Project Zomboid is if you, every time you start a server, a random radio station is picked to be the emergency broadcast signal.
Mm.
And if you use it, it'll tell you about upcoming rain or weather systems that are coming in, or like if there's a mega horde of zombies coming into the city or something like that.
Huh.
That can end up being shut down, and that's actually going to be a location in the game in the next major update
Word.
that you have to go and like reactivate it if it shuts down to get your radio back. And
Yeah.
they're also going to be working on almost a military sim level radio system for the game, so that you actually have to set up like relay towers and stuff if you want a radio to work entirely across the map.
Huh.
So I think it's crazy cool.
Well,
It's
I
very
am
interesting.
out of here for a little bit because my friend asked me to go to school with him at his place. So
Alrighty.
I'm gonna go swimming. I'll probably catch up back with you guys if you guys are still in here in like an hour-ish or so, a couple hours.
Cool. Have a good one, man.
But have a good one, dudes.
Yeah, this is a new sound engine. I like how it sounds different if you're zoomed in or zoomed out.
Huh. It does sound nice.
Oh yeah, they're working on 7-story buildings because currently 5 is the max in the engine.
Heard.
Trying to bring that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Couple
Upward
little other
mazes.
changes. Yep, that so much fun. And you can destroy walls. They're working on the ability to destroy floors so that you can make like staircases and stuff like that.
Huh.
You can already make staircases, but there needs to be like a hole in the floor or whatever if you're in a structure to get up
Gotcha.
the floor or build outside the structure.
Heard.
What else have they been working on?
Apparently quite a lot.
Oh yeah, tons. Every Thursday they put out a new blog about what they've been working on in like insane detail. Like they even show off video example of like what they were working on. Let's see, what was this? They were working on sinking zombies falling to the ground, which when allowed to happen out of time can lead to an increased desync. Our first implementation was working fine for solo players, but when multiple players were attacking Zeds, the fall position was being rewritten and there was confusion between all the clients. We believe now we have a solution to this by concentrating on the attacks of the target player, which the team is now testing. Also been fixing bugs, blah blah blah, like players not being able to kill each other, so much so forth. And then here's a comparison of their old system with their new system. Like even showing the bug that they were working on. Like these are some of the most active devs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But they're having some trouble with multiplayer.
Yeah. It's hard.
So yeah, that was the old system. Here's the new one. Ends up in the right place. The animation's a little slow. And this is showing the logic for how zombies like lock onto something and how the system can desync. Basically left as the host system, right as the remote, like say you if you're on my server. So it works a lot better, but still a work in progress. But yeah, basically what's happening in this scene right here is
They got far enough away, so it targeted the other one.
more advanced than that. They're working on a system that allows the server to pass off calculations to, say, this player right here, so that this little bubble around them is being calculated on their computer instead of this person's computer. But as soon as a zombie hooks up onto them, it's being calculated on their computer.
Gotcha.
So it's just taking a ton of load off the server. So instead of the server figuring out, okay, I need to bring zombies in from up here and then send some over here so that they can flank them over here, it can just let these guys worry about the local zombies and do everything in the background without it lagging out. Also loading areas because everything loads in like a cell.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, super advanced stuff and insanely hyped, as you can tell.
Yep.
You want to see the
Hello?
second part to the CDDA?
I'm good. I'm actually probably gonna hop off for a little bit, and
Oh, good, man.
I'll be back on in a little while. But I'm not sure what exactly I'm gonna do. But I'm trying to get
Yeah.
away from my computer for a little bit. I've been on for too long.
Yeah, I might play some Overwatch or something for a little.
Alright. Yeah. Like I said, I should be back on later on. So
Cool, man.
deuces. Thanks for showing me that game. That game's really cool.
Yeah. So, I'll be definitely pinging everyone, being like, "Yo, Project Zomboid's fucking multiplayer now. Get on."
Word. Yeah, I'll be ready for it. Alright,
Yeah.
deuces.